Trinbagonians, all Trinidadians, all red, white, and black. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Philip. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. How was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. I kind of had a very hectic one, but it was all right. I can't complain.
Janice Lemon Cricky, the PRO of the PEP.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I want to give a shout out this morning to Massey Gas Products and to Candice Brathwaite, who was able to assist me with oxygen for my brother in an emergency situation. So thank you very much. I appreciate all that they did to assist in that situation.
What happened to your brother? Tell me more.
Well, the thing is, he couldn't breathe, and we had to source an oxygen tank with all the paraphernalia to go with it.
Over the weekend?
Over the weekend. It was a Saturday.
In a country like this?
Yeah, so I got hold of Candice's number, and she works with Massey Gas Products, and she organized everything. And the people there were very friendly, very nice. They showed me how to operate it. It's not that difficult. And I was able to just, get everything sorted out. So at least he could have had a decent night's sleep.
Well, I am so happy. And every time somebody, Janice, I want to say, every time somebody that moves in the circles that could get them a pull out, a hand up, a saving, I think about all those people who don't. Yeah. What their story would have been this morning. Janice, what their story would have been this morning. I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, the solution to the traffic out of Diego Martin. So we could deal with traffic, we could deal with everything, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the solution to the traffic. To the people who sit down in traffic this morning, coming out of Maraval, the people who sat down in traffic coming out of Diego Martin, the people who sat down in traffic trying to get around the Savannah to come out of Cascade St. Anne's, the people who sat down in traffic trying to come over the Lady Young Road, the people who sat down in traffic trying to come out of Lavantil, Morva, Beetham, the people who sat down in traffic from all over the country trying to come into Port of Spain. The people who sat on Wrightson Road traffic trying to get past the people who trying to come into Port of Spain. Yeah. The reality of the situation is, and Janice, all of those traffic situations could be solved.
I know.
Every single one of them could be solved. And the fact that it is not solved has to do with incompetent government.
Yeah.
And voters who are willing to keep voting people into office who are not solving traffic.
Very true. Very, very true.
So when you're sitting in that traffic, you had to remember, while you're fuming, tell yourself, I vote for that.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't vote, Tony.
No, but you're right.
Even if you didn't vote, by your lack of vote, you've said, I am okay sitting in traffic every day.
Correct. Very, very much correct.
Still to this day, and I had to keep saying it, still to this day, people walk up to me, strangers who live in Diego Martin, Westmoreland, Carnas, Petite Valley, and tell me, boss, thank you for solving the traffic in Diego Martin. Thank you for the solving traffic that go into... People who live in Diego will remember, prior to the bypass by 4 roads, every evening we sat in traffic that backed up beyond Movie Town.
Boy, it was a mess.
Yes.
It was a mess.
We sat in traffic, every side street in St. James, every side street in Woodbrook. The people at Westmoreland had to come and build all kind of fancy things to prevent, because you couldn't come out of Westmoreland because people trying to bypass to go wrong to come up to St. Finbar's inside Broome Street in La Puerta was traffic because everybody trying to get into Digo, and all they had was this little 2 lanes in 4 roads that if somebody pressed the light to cross, traffic stop and back up. If a taxi stopped to pick up somebody, drop off somebody, traffic stop.
Yeah.
Man trying to reverse out of by Jurawande, he just went to buy some parts, traffic stop. Freddy's Bakery, traffic stop. Coming out of Starlight Shopping Plaza,
traffic stop.
What about the taxis picking up passengers
somebody
along
trip
the way?
and fall in the road, traffic stop. And the point of the matter is that's what causes traffic. Traffic is caused by obstacles. There are 2 types of obstacles. There are obstacles in the path and traffic caused by traffic crossing traffic. Now this is real rudimentary arithmetic. This is simple. If you walk in one direction and somebody walk in a next direction and the 2 of y'all reach in the same space, both of y'all, common sense tells you stop. Let the other person pass. In a lot of situations, both of y'all reach at the same time. both of y'all stop and wow, it's so early and we're getting calls.
Yeah.
I think you need to put that on silent. But common sense will tell you had to stop and you had to deal with that. And I want to say to Trinbagonians this morning, we have to put things in perspective with our vote. When you're voting, remember, you're voting for healthcare, for education, for traffic, for road management. When you're voting for those things. You're not voting for Rowley.
Yeah. You're voting for anti-cams.
You're not voting for them.
Yeah.
You're not voting for Stuart Young and Farris. You're not voting for Rudal and Suruj.
Yeah.
You're voting for Stacey Rupner, right?
Correct.
You're voting for water in your pipe.
That's right. No more traffic.
You're voting for in the traffic, Tony. When I solved the traffic going into Diego Martin, I thought the people in Diego Martin would have voted me into office one time. Because Keith Rowley was there for 30 years and he didn't.
Right.
And he couldn't. And he didn't and he couldn't. When the people of Rich Plain offered to build me an altar because I got water to them, they didn't have water for 62 years. Keith Rowley and the councillor for Diego Martin Regional Corporation went to the who they went to, boy? They went to report me and WASA to say Integrity Commission. I am not a public official, you know.
What you saying?
But they went to the Integrity Commission to say WASA is sponsoring my election campaign.
What?
Because I went to WASA with a plan that got water to Rich Plain Hill, Rowley gave X. Because them is he own to frustrate. Them is he own to keep beholden to government.
Yeah, because them is the one that he cut in the little small deal, get the little pennants, the little 500, 200, hold that, the little CPEP work.
You mustn't solve problems in Trinidad and Tobago. When I solve the problem, the Diego Martin traffic, call Mbert. Big on social media because people bigging me up.
Right.
Call Mbert, jump in the conversation. You know the arrogant little jumped up frou he is. He's saying, PNM had that plan 20 years.
A real vexity this morning, you know.
I say, call. Are you saying that same bypass plan, you all had that plan? Yes! We know that long time.
So why the hell he ain't do it? What's he reasoning? What is his reasoning? Did you not ask him why the hell the man did not do it? You have it so damn long.
When I asked him, call. And the post was a viral post. I said, call. If you're telling this nation and the people of Diego Martin that you knew how to bring them relief,
tell me,
and solve the problem in Diego Martin, but you know what he wanted? He and his contractor partners had proposed a $500 million plan to cut a tunnel through the mountain into Cocoreed.
What?
Yes. You see, problems in Trinidad not supposed to solve quick. When I tell people the traffic coming out of Maraval this morning, we say no in Maraval traffic? No. The traffic coming out of Maraval this morning, Tony, don't even need a backhoe to solve. You don't need to break the ground. Well, actually you do, to put some no entry signs.
Right. And direct traffic in one direction.
One direction.
Yeah.
If you make Upper Long Circular Road, Bossier Village, Ellerslie, Rapsey Street, Ellerslie, and Barbados Road, if you just make that in one little roundabout there, 2 lanes.
Right, true.
Going east to west.
Right.
Clockwise. Everybody coming out of Maraval, even if the same thing that I just said that caused the traffic in 4 roads is what causes the traffic in Bossier Village.
Right.
It's the same bottleneck because when you pass Bossier Village, so traffic engineers tell you want to solve the traffic, go to the point where the traffic ends. That's the problem. Where the traffic ends, where from there is no traffic, whatever is happening right before there is the cause of the traffic, right?
Yeah.
And Trinidadians get caught up with so much bullshit with their politics. People distract them with so much tomfoolery. They walk around parroting insipidity. and not talking traffic. Not talking price of gas. Not talking price of taxi. Not talking maintenance on vehicles. Not talking road.
Boy, you don't go down that road there. You see you're talking road?
Take your time. Take your
Oh
time.
gosh.
Take it. Go.
Because it's last night,
Maybe
brother.
something to
Yesterday. I tell you just now, I vexed with call because I see this man put out a release there talking about we taking a $250 million loan to fix your road.
We are not taking a $250 million loan. We're taking a $1.4 billion TT loan.
Yeah.
That's what we're taking. We're taking
all
16,000 houses.
Philip, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? That is my question right now to Mr. Imber this morning.
No, the question to Mr. Imber this morning, Tony, is where the gas road tax gone?
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Everybody goes to the pump every day.
Yeah.
Patrick Manning instituted a tax on gas specific for the road repair.
Road maintenance.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where that money?
Yeah.
Where that money? Where is that money, PNM? Where is that money, PNM supporters? Where is that money, Colm? You're going to enslave the people to another debt, $1.4 billion.
Eh?
But you've already collected the road repair tax. Where's that money? Because, listen, if they collected that money and spent it on anything but road repair, that is fraudulent contribution.
Thank you very much.
That is a simple crime.
Yes.
That Gary Griffith could go and lock up the Minister of
Gary.
Finance this morning.
Gary, I hope you're listening, brother.
Watch me. If Hawaii do the same nonsense as Colm, let them share the cell. Let Hawaii and Imbert and Dukaran put Winston Dukaran, put him in the same cell. Because that's what's been going on in this country. And Trinidadians are loath to face reality, because to face reality is to realize my blackness didn't protect me.
Yeah.
My Indianness didn't save me.
Yeah.
These two parties that pretend to be about me was using me to rob my children.
This is it. This is it, Trinidad. Only listen, man. Listen. This is the information they want you to have. This is what they want you to be dumbfounded about. That is the whole point. That right there is the whole point. We cannot do this no more. We cannot do this no more, because none of it making no kind of sense. None. Zero of this is making any kind of sense. And I watch me, I so upset. Whole day yesterday, I grinding my teeth, you know, after reading that. Grinding my teeth, because I want to understand, why is it are we going to put ourselves in another $1.something billion debt for, when we're already swimming in debt? We're not even doing anything to diversify the economy in order to bring in foreign exchange or foreign investment in this country, but yet you want to take loan from Tom, Dick and Harry. Eh?
No, but Wayne Kublal saying this morning, Wayne, you're tagging me in everything you're posting. I want to ask you something, Wayne. You emaciate yourself fasting over a stunt of a highway. Nation need diversification. You realize that? You put out a post this weekend. About that. How come you're not fasting for that? I'll come and fast with you. The nation urgently needs an intervention.
Boy, intervention is not even the word, brother. Intervention is not the word, because it just seems as if the agenda of this administration, this PNM government, boy, is basically to destroy the country, put we in massive debt. So this way, them run away with the damn treasury, they run away with the bank, and whoever come into that parliament after, watch me, the kind of the mountain that these people are faced with. And you know what? If the people again accept the Progressive Empowerment Party, we would be the fools that would be faced with that. But at the end of the day, here we're going on Trinidad and Tobago. The Progressive Empowerment Party have policies. We have proposals that will develop this country in a way that no one has ever imagined this country to ever develop.
I see, Janice.
Yeah.
I see.
You think it's joke in this place?
I see trolls on the thread saying Philip and them just repeating what other people say.
Yeah.
And I tell all of them,
boy,
if you think that anything that I have said has been said before, tag me in it, copy and paste it, show me. Take me to it and I will never speak again. I will stop talking today. If you're saying that politicians, because there are two reasons why I'll stop talking. The first reason is, if you know that they knew and you still defending them,
yeah, boy,
they didn't do it.
Yeah, boy.
Come now, man.
There's no excuse why it should not be done. 57 years later, man, Trinidad and Tobago. Really? Politicians coming in and out of office, in and out before election. That's the only time it has been able to see them, and they're promising the world, they're telling you all kind of bacchanal. But watch me. Not one was able to tell any citizen of this country for 57 years how the hell they was planning to actually work and the mechanism and how they were going to meet the goals that they were presenting to you as citizens. Let me tell you something, at Trinidad and Tobago, the Progressive Empowerment Party is the only political vehicle in our history in over 57 years that has presented policies to the public, showed them how exactly it's going to work, proposed the actual figures, because we crunching numbers. We are talking with think tanks that is...
No, but let's see, the latest one they're asking me is, if the PNM and the UNC thief out all the money, where you'll get the money from to do what you say you're going to do?
That is how stupid there is, boy.
And then Afro Raymond, just tell them 2/3 of all the money budgeted in this country for any public works is stolen.
2/3. So just quantify that in Trinidad and Tobago.
Cents out of every dollar is stolen.
Quantify that. If it's $60 billion we spending, do the maths.
77 cents out of every dollar.
2/3 of that is $40 billion, Philip.
So when the budget is 60 billion, that means at least 40 billion
going in financiers and 1%'s pocket on the handed deal.
Stolen money.
Bro, my pressure real high this morning, you know. Yeah, what telling you, because this is my money, boy.
Yeah, but lower.
This is my children money, boy.
Ambulances take long to come. Lower that pressure. Ambulances take long to come.
Don't worry, Philip. I'm well.
Racing down the highway. And you're the only man to make the ambulance song in the party. We give my money to that. You make the ambulance song. Tell them about the ambulance.
Well, no, as I told him last time, I said I'm well versed with CPR.
Man, watch now. Let's stop the joke now, man. It's not a jokey situation, because it's a serious thing, boy. These people and them running away with another 1 billion of we money, boy.
Wait, they say thing to cry, you're laughing. Tony, that you vexed for that? If you're vexed for that.
But Philip, every day we are going deeper and deeper in debt.
If you're vexed for that, put your 2 fingers in your ears. What I want to talk about now is Paria fuel and the refinery. Janice, this is
call 999 for me.
This is brazen daylight theft.
Call 999.
That is all that's going to go on. You see, when Malcolm Jones died, and I said, may he rot for all eternity. May the tears of all the sufferers in this country, all the mothers who cry on dead sons and daughters, may they fall on Malcolm Jones in eternal damnation and anguish. May he feel their pain. I wish it on Conrad Enel. Conrad Enel, when you shuffle off this mortal coil, I hope the tears of every PNM fool that supported you and bought your bullshit, I hope the pain they feel turn in your grave with you for the rest of eternity. Ken Julian, I wish you the same fate that Hafiz Karamat had. Hafiz Karamat started to rot while he was alive. All you don't believe in karma. Play with God. When they bring Hafiz Karamat in that court for the Commission of Inquiry, people hold their nose. The man was smelling like dead. And I'm serious. Up to this day, Bastille Panda and the UNC can explain to the nation how public funds pay to build a desalination plant that Hafiz Karamat ended up owning. Up to today, we can't find out where all the sex toys and high-powered weapons found on Hafiz Karamat compound came from and where they went. And how come, if that was a little black hen chicken from Beetham, that story would have ended in jail? How come Karamat, that just gone? You see, at Trinidad and Tobago, the difference between me and them is I not know 9-day wonder. I don't forget. And if you put Philip Edward Alexander in the parliament, all those questions from Johnny O'Halloran come forward with answer.
You're answering. With answering.
Me and Justin Trudeau will talk.
Yeah.
Trudeau, it is stolen Trinidad money. Build them towers in Toronto.
Yeah, we talking to Trudeau. We talking to Trudeau.
Money. No, I want money back.
We talking to Trudeau.
I want money back. Trudeau, if you're really the good and decent man that you portray on TV, Trinidad needs its money back. That was stolen from Trinidad.
That's right.
And you see, we are not going to get that kind of conversation as long as we couch the conversation between Catman and Drunky Monkey. Until Groomerman and Daruma is no longer the two poles of everything that we believe is our political future. Until we realize that not only are they not a choice, they are a bad choice. That to continue to think that either the PNM or the UNC will change their spots and wake up today or tomorrow and understand that people deserve representation. When Keith Rowley said, and I asked him last night, and I tagged him. When you said, Keith Rowley, that the people need to wean themselves off our government. When you said that, Keith Rowley, what do you think? I want to ask him. I want a debate with this.
Watch me.
I want a debate with this knucklehead so bad. I want a debate. This is why people love me. This is why people love me, because they know that for all the talk, Faris and Stewart had to talk third hand and fourth hand and send little Inchan Ishmael and Daryl Duku to give me talk. Listen, come in person. Do it on national TV. Sell ads. Sabga, you want to sell Carib and Stag? Do Carib and Stag ads. Put Rowley, Kamla and me. Put us on TV. Because I want to ask Rowley one question. What do you think you're paid for? What do you think the job is?
Yeah, the man, boy, wean yourself off a government.
If the job
boy
is not street lights, Tony, what's the job?
Watch me.
If the job is not managing flour mills to a profit, what's the job? If the job is not right-sizing Petrotrin and maximizing currently limited assets, what is the job, Keith Rowley? Keith Rowley, Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley. If the job is not breaking down Grand Bazaar so that a proper north-south intersection could be built, not that madness. Anybody who going south will tell you there is a place in the insanity that they had to build. And they had to build that insanity because Sabga built Grand Bazaar on the highway reserve that was set aside for that intersection. And if that was the people, I nearly call names, if that was the people of Curep that Rohan Sinanan gone to kick down the house, take whatever we tell you is the value, but Sabga get to put everybody's life in danger. Watch how Sabga and this corrupt government put everybody's life in danger. When you're heading in an easterly direction to go south, between Aranguez and the overpass, just go with a drone and film the insanity, of all those cars that coming out of Aranguez, meeting up with all those cars coming from the east,
who trying to go
on the south overpass. You watch that knitting, that zipper of anarchy that we had to settle for because you did not have a prime minister who would have gone and break down Sabga's illegality Grand Bazaar. But that is Trinidad and Tobago.
But you want me to wean myself out of government?
See the way like it, so I am the wrong man for that nonsense.
Trinidad and Tobago, you are prime minister.
They could send all their talking heads to bad talk Philip Alexander. But to this day, they're not willing to ask of their two icons of corruption, the PNM and the UNC, and the current leaders, Darumai and Groomerman. What have you done for the people of this country?
Yeah, boy.
Watching people who were former diehard supporters of the PNM asking, how come we have not diversified this economy as yet? Warms my heart. I know that the Progressive Empowerment Party, through shows like this and the live videos we do and everything else
making an impact, man.
We are changing the narrative. Janice and I got 45 minutes on 102 yesterday because Clarence Rambarat couldn't find himself into his pants on time to do his interview before and had to eat up 15 minutes of our time. So we had to talk faster, say more words in a shorter space of time to get Trinidadians to understand not only can it fix, you have a responsibility to insist that it be fixed. You have a responsibility as people to go down to your MP office with your water tank and your pump and get them the bill.
Yes.
Somebody asked me, why is this big ugly truck in 2019 driving up and down in Scarborough, in Tobago, from Wassa, to give people water, but you have pipe in the ground. So if you have pipe in the ground, how come the water in the truck? How come you can't use the pipe? It's racket and corruption at every level of Trinidad and Tobago. And there is only one political organization. Miss me with the bullshit talk, because all the fake profiles, as you come, you get blocked. Miss me with the nonsense, because the truth of the matter is, we are the only political organization in this country capable of enunciating a way forward. The PNM and the UNC knows what I tell you is fact. But they can't, sir. Kamala trying to thief. I tell you, I'm almost post this morning. Kamala talk about the opening of the Tunapuna regional headquarters. I say, look at this foul thief now. Look at this rancid foul thief. Before the PEP started opening regional headquarters in the country to bring representation on the ground, you didn't know. You're rancid foul thief. Kamala, tell them where you get the idea from. Because UNC since 1988, you never do that before.
Never. Until now.
Or they never thought to know
that
you could break Trinidad up into 5 hubs. Northeast, Central, South Tobago. Northeast, Central, South Tobago. Kamala not letting you go. Rowley are not letting you go. Or you could bullshit till sunrise and sunset and not letting you go. Trinidad and Tobago must see. That's all I want. See them for who they are. When a wife have to face that her husband is a thief or a crook or that he beaten her and she not supposed to take that, that is the moment awareness arrives. And when awareness arrives, Janice, that is when decisions could be made. How can I improve my situation? Because that's the obvious question.
Not only that, when you have someone as well pointing out the facts for you, it empowers the woman. So she starts to get brave. That's also the critical thing, you know.
And this is why I said to people like Paulo Kernahan, Afra Raymond, when y'all people, we're not taking calls right now, we will let you know when we open the lines. Kirkwaite, when y'all create all of this, talk, PNM bad, UNC worse, that's good. But if you don't give people an option, what's the point? To all the talking heads on social media, all the video makers, all they want to take me to task. All they want to take, I have no problem with that, you know. Rudy Paul said to me yesterday, when you take the mandate of leadership, it comes with certain things, and I accept that. I accept rejection. I accept character assassination. I accept defamation. I'm standing outside here taking all them blows and staying on message. If you're coming to attack me, make sure that you squeaky clean. Because to all of those who have criminally enriched themselves at the public's expense, what you're trying to say, when you're bad talking, Philip, what you're really trying to say is you're afraid, man. Because the contract mafia know I will end it.
Yeah, boy.
I not Michael Kwamina and Keith Rowley have to pull up outside Syrian people.
Don't know.
And they're asking, who that outside there?
Don't know, but here what going on?
Is a Syrian, half Syrian. Wait, I want to tell them this. I can't go wedding and baptism anymore. They ban me. But I know, brother, I'm not Rowley, I'm not Kwamina. You're letting me in and tolerating me. We got to give him a blind. He's out. He working for we. They groom them. But that's the truth. The Syrian community in Trinidad and Tobago is the most insular and isolated, drawn away from everybody else. I grew up in that.
What's going on now, man? The point is this. The 1% class know, the corporate class know. What we need to who we need to have know is the other 99%. The other 99% is the ones who need to know that you ain't like the rest. That you is a man that would really take it to task, really take it to the white-collar criminals, the one who has been making rain on this nation for the last 57 years. That is what needs to take place. Where you say that, John?
I perfectly agree.
There's the point. The 99% need to have a clear, the same way how the 1% class knows. That you know, they're doing everything in the power, they're blocking me on mainstream media, the defaming the man, assassinating the character, doing all them thing. Everything under the sun. Well, everything not just yet, because the party now start. The party now start. But the point of this is Trinidad and Tobago. This man, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander, will, and I am here also to ensure that he will.
Come now, man.
Take it to task.
Let me talk DDI. Let me talk DDI. You know, they have nobody in Trinidad. No other politician will talk DDI. The Down the Islands class. Trinidad have its own apartheid, you know. We don't talk about it in polite conversation, but they have places in Trinidad still. When you go, you know you don't belong. The people who feel like them belong, them like meerkat. You ever see meerkat, man? Huh? Well, all the meerkats stand up and looking around. You see that? Who is them? Why they in we area? That is what Ada Abud Polony and Lindsay Gillett trying to do in Bayshore. Who that? How you end up in we street?
Yeah.
Segregation.
Yep.
Close it off.
Yeah.
We rich, you poor, we in danger from you. Peter George Sr. said that it is the job of the middle class to protect the wealthy from the poor.
Tell me now, boy.
Westmoreland is a buffer, Janice.
That's what I'm saying.
Westmoreland is a buffer to protect the 1% from cocoa.
Imagine that man
and they
say
sit
that.
down there. Trinidadians sit down there and take that.
Well, we're taking a lot of things these days, huh? Because everything is being touched.
I'm telling you,
Trinidadians are
just
that is why they have to bad talk me. You see, and I sit in here and I tell people all the time. When people ask me, Philip, how did they say them thing about you? I say, listen, they have to afraid me. They have to afraid me. In the times of slavery, how did 1 or 2 white people control 5,000 slaves? How did you? With the whip? No. With shackles? No. You have to control their minds.
Yeah.
And to control their minds, all you have to do is dehumanize 4,995 of them. Put them in the most squalid of conditions. Leave them suffering, hungry, and at the mercy of the elements. And then bring 5 to sleep on your porch. Eating massa food. Drinking massa wine. Those 5 will keep the other 4,995 enslaved. And massa could sleep soundly at night. That is an analogy from slavery.
Yeah,
Trinidad ain't changed yet. Trinidad ain't changed yet. And I telling you, I grew up in this country. And as much as I hate politics, I hate that this is my Monday morning. I hate that. I want a reason to say, you know what? Let them eat one another. It don't affect me. Half the battles I fight in do affect me. I have no reason to engage in any of the things that the lowest classes suffer from. I could get my water in my tanks. I could afford my food. The suffering people in this country who have been left to live in squalor while massa eat well. This is the truth of Trinidad and Tobago.
You know, last night I watched my neighbor next door in her yard knocking her water tank, and you're hearing the hollow of the tank, and she stand up with her hands on her hips wondering, what am I going to do?
What next?
Yeah.
I mean,
Island surrounded by
I was
water.
amazed.
10 times the worth of rain each year.
Yeah.
In 1985, the world was told when we had the real recession, when the oil price collapsed to under $7, and we had a real recession, the whole world woke up to the fact that even though oil consumption gonna be with us for the next 100 years, still, it will never be, unless there is world war. You cannot base global economies on oil and gas. You have to diversify into consumption and leave oil and gas as energy. Fast forward to the 90s, when countries like Dubai and Saudi Arabia, when the price hit $103, Trinidad was ham and jam. Manning and Pandey and Rowley and Kamala and them, they had, but Manning had a time. Manning had a dose of oil revenue that this country has never seen. All the bullshit we built, all the Napa, Sapa, Tapa, all the buildings in town. Boy, Manning was test driving jets. Yeah. Manning had become an instant banana republic strutting dictator. Because you have money.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your problem? Take some money now, man.
Yeah.
We had money.
Yeah.
And watch me, them Europeans and the Chinese, they see us coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
France have 2 companies in Trinidad and Tobago. They're sucking Trinidad money, you know. If you had a bill, them billing it. Go and find out who bill. Go and find out what company bill NIS. Find out where the money come from to bill NIS. And you didn't give Trinidadian workers the contract to bill NIS. Go and find out. Go and find out. They see us coming. They see us coming. The rest of the world shifted gears. Then the price of oil started to collapse. And it dropped to $41. And they call on the King of Saudi Arabia to convene OPEC. And he said, when we told you all to diversify, we diversified. We don't care if the price of oil reach $1. Doesn't matter. So when they want to talk about shale oil and renewables and all of that, you have to treat oil and gas as a consumption commodity. I'll give you some facts if you want it. I know Chinese get bored when you give them too much facts. We lazy with this.
Now the brain gets tired.
The brain get tired. This is what was written, and I had to pull it up for you to give you this, right? But you gotta verify to go into Express. Just give me a minute. This is what was written, right, in the Express. Reading that elegantly well-written, well-deserved dressing down delivered last Thursday to Minister Colm Imbert by an Express editorial, I was reminded of the ugly arrogance we have had to endure from this often insufferable politician. Were he doing well in his most critical portfolio, even Imbert would be tolerable. But his alarming incompetence stands starkly exposed by the most profound economic challenges the nation faces. After 3.5 years of Imbert, this economy is closer to ruination than ever before. What are the facts? Trinidadians don't like information. Trinidadians don't like facts. You see, facts messes with their cognitive dissonance. You want to pretend that PNM cares. Yeah. PNM want to tell you we in this together. I tell Andy Johnson on the radio yesterday, he just play an ad that say we are all in this together. And if I was PNM, I'd pull that ad. Because it's a sad indictment of fact. The nation is suffering. And we all in this together. All of us suffering. They have nobody in this country that is not exposed to the travesty of the mismanagement and the incompetence of this government.
Yeah, very true.
What are the facts? Foreign reserves have fallen from US 11 billion in March 2015 to 7.5 billion in December 2018, including 1 billion borrowed in 2017, and will decline to 3 billion by 2022 or earlier as debt service increases. Trinidadians will sit down and say, we get $250 million to fix road, the road fixing. They don't remember we made the analogy on this show. Eat as much as you want in the restaurant, you know. Burp.
Yeah.
Wipe your face with a napkin. The bill have to come.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah. The bill come in. The bill come in.
All the borrowings.
The bill come in.
Taruba Stadium, Napa, Sapa, Tapa. You know we still owing China.
Yeah.
We owing for the Scarborough Hospital. We owing for the Couva Hospital. We own everything.
But this is why I get so upset. Why the hell this man wearing another $1 billion again, boy?
Yeah, but where's our money? If we own all of this money, where's our money?
And they said a good thing earlier, we are paying a tax on gas. And that is specifically in order to maintain the roads. So where that money? Where is that money?
In 3 years to maintain our lifestyle, Imbert increased public sector debt to 29%. Understand that, Trinidad and Tobago. Almost a third of every dollar this country could claim has to be spent servicing debt. From 76.5 billion at the end of fiscal 2015 to 98.9 billion. We're owing $100 billion US dollars. Debt servicing doubled the 9 funds for development from 5.64 billion or 9.8% of revenue in 2015 to 8.7 or 20.5% of revenue in 2018. But the point that Trinidadians don't get is that you hit 20.5% of revenue. Revenue is what you earn. But if revenue collapses, you still owe that debt.
Exactly.
That is when they come and take your crown jewels.
Yeah.
That is when you lose the nylon pool and the port and the airport and the pitch. That's when you lose everything. and we are borrowing more. This is absolutely unsustainable. We need to earn more. And this is the point I'm trying to make. There's nothing more critical. Revenue dropped from 57 billion in 2015 to 42 billion in 2018. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. These people are criminals. When they call this revenue $42 billion in 2018, at least half of that is taxation from the population. So it is not real revenue.
Yeah.
The country hasn't earned this money. They've taken it from the
people,
citizens
from
of the
the people,
country,
yeah.
and they come back and tell the same citizens, revenue. This is not revenue. Revenue from taxation cannot be considered revenue, because you see, when your country doing well,
The people mad, I tell you. The corn mad, I
no,
tell
but you
you.
see, if you're dealing with Keith Rowley and Kamala Prasad Bisesa, if your politics is eclipsed by the PNM and the UNC, neither of them ever have a reason to be honest with you.
True that, true that.
They are both sides of the same criminal, corrupt coin. They're incompetent in the extreme. So neither of them will tell you this, that when your country is doing well, you're looking for a break-even point, what Bill Clinton called balance the budget. In the United States of America, Bill Clinton said the absolute recurring expenditure that we need to run the United States of America is X dollars. And as long as we get income levels to match X dollars, our budget balance. And if you could do that, you could relax the tax burden on the people. You see, people don't realize when you go to the grocery, just VAT at the counter is 15% of your budget, of your dollar that you spend. So that if you spend $1,000 in the grocery, $150 more that should have been groceries just evaporate.
Yeah.
And then you look inside the cart, out of the $1,000 that you just spent, $500 was duty and tax. $500 evaporate. So $500 is what you spend. And inside that $500, the banks had applied 13% of a fake tax foreign exchange spread that you don't account for. Because everything in actually is impacted by import. Even the cabbage wrapped in plastic with the sticker. All of that impacted by import. US currency. So there's a further 13% tax. So what you end up with, and people ask, how the price of the food so expensive? Because you bought $250 worth of food, but you end up paying $1,150.
Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, you hear that? I really hope.
You never had it broken down like that.
You was saying, boy.
You never had it broken down like that.
But that is layman terms, Philip. And I really
you
believe.
You paid $1,150 for $250 worth of groceries.
Brother, Trinidad, only listening to that. Only listen to that. And again, bring Kamala, bring Rowley, and bring Mr. Philip Edward Alexander, and let them debate that point, that one point. We dare them. We dare them.
Tony, we could debate the past, the present, and the future. The fact of the matter is, the PNM and the UNC cannot defend their track record.
But you look, Trinidad, you just got it broken down right there. $250 worth in groceries in reality, which you're supposed to pay. At the end of the day, coming out of that grocery is spending almost or over $1,000. Listen and listen well, Trinidad and Tobago. PNM or UNC is not in any way, form, or fashion seeking your best interests. Okay, and this is real, Trinidad and Tobago, the Progressive Empowerment Party. Watch me, we here to really bring betterment to you.
If Robert Amar was in the studio, he would play for me this jackass of a prime minister telling his clapping seals of a PNM audience.
Yeah,
250 of them in the room.
Win your way out.
250 of them was in the room clapping and the copy and paste medium. While we are on the radio right now on 104.7, we can't take any calls between now and noon. Okay, so everybody stick a pen. The fact of the matter is, he told his 250 people in that audience that they keep talking about diversification. It's not easy to diversify this economy, and those people clapped. And I thought to myself, Hitler was able to exterminate 6 million Jews by taking them out of their house, corralling them into a camp, working them to almost death, piling them onto a train and taking them to Auschwitz, putting them in a gas, and people willingly went along. People, nobody revolted.
That's right.
When Kanye West said that the 600 million people they brought from Africa should have revolted, you see, the man who you don't get, his name don't get called, a fella by the name of Toussaint Louverture, that is the man of the millennium. It is Toussaint Louverture that elevated African consciousness to equality. And he said, if you kill mine, I will kill yours. And nobody ever contemplated it in that term before, because they lived in a cruel and ruinous time. Yeah, in Trinidad and Tobago, we have in Lopino, Count Lopino used to nail black people with some big chunks of wood, the nail in your ears into a tree. So it's not just the nail here, it's 2 big chunks of wood and you nail to the tree. Go up there and find out as East Church and Tobago. And then cover you with honey. This is to punish you. So batchak and ants will bite and eat you until you can't take no more and you rip off your own ears from the tree. And that is the kind of cruelty that we put human beings under. So when, and I'm saying this to Trinidad and Tobago because I don't understand how our history has allowed us to reach to a point where instead of all the people of Trinidad and Tobago realizing it is 1.4 million of us and we deserve better, and that we are not, and don't tell me about Indian and African, I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me about Syrian and Chinese and white, I don't care. We live here.
Correct.
Regardless of your race. If you're born here, you're Trinbagonian. They have nowhere want you back. They are nowhere waiting for you. Mother Africa and Father India not waiting for you. I watch a man talk about what's going on in Syria. I say, partner, you born here, Syria, and care about you. If you have money to send, send. But you're not important to that conversation. You are a Trinbagonian, and Mama Trinbago in trouble. That is where the conversation have to be.
That's right.
Nice.
We will be right back.
More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
This is a serious problem in Trinidad. What?
Go ahead.
Are we back inside?
Yes, we are.
It is important. It is important now that we get, when you go to the doctor and he does all the tests and he asks all the questions, he take all the blood and he do everything. He comes to a thing called the diagnosis. You can't go nowhere until you arrive at the diagnosis. You can't. You have to know.
Correct.
You have to know what is wrong with us.
Correct.
What's wrong with this country? What's wrong with Trinidad and Tobago? We have to know. We have to diagnose what is wrong with Trinidad and Tobago before we can start to fix it.
Correct.
Okay, so let's try and put that simple. One, our economy is broken. It is based on oil and gas that will never recover. That even if we don't start diversifying today, we have to start diversifying tomorrow. At some point, we could be eating rats and stray dog in the road. At some point, somewhere, somebody will say, hey, anybody ever thought about diversifying the economy? Let me grow lime and lemon and orange and sell it to the neighbors now. Let me stop trying to pretend that we is this big oil giant, because them days gone. It's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shale oil in America. Shale oil revolution. When you hear the term shale oil revolution, What it did was it disconnected the United States of America, the greatest consumer of energy in the world. America was buying people oil and stockpiling it. But then they realized that oil was breaking down. That the products that you were making, the gasoline and the diesel, was breaking down and oxidizing. That you had to, they came up with this thing. They were doing just in time. They came up with flow. Make sure that you drill and use same time.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because the cost to stockpile and the cost to treat was increasing the cost and decreasing the value.
Correct.
The shale oil revolution made the United States of America, for the first time in a long time, a net, besides being the largest consumer. Without the United States of America consuming oil and gas at the level they do, the rest of the world, all of the OPEC countries, Trinidad, Venezuela, everybody who produces oil and rely on the price of oil, we would never have enjoyed the economies we enjoyed were it not for their consumption. The same thing with cocaine. Cocaine, without Americans snorting, sniffing, drilling, whatever it is, do with it. Without them, cocaine is $100 a kilo in Colombia.
In fact, wouldn't even be a business.
No, but cocaine is $100 a kilo in Colombia. It's not big money to grow cacao and pick any plant and throw it in a mortar with a pestle and make it into a powder. It's cheap. It's cheap to grow cocoa and cacao to make cocaine. But it's because it's illegal, it becomes $1 million. But the point I'm trying to make here is American consumption drove international prices that gave us our 2 oil booms. But the oil shale revolution in America didn't just balance America's consumption.
This is with fracking.
Yeah. But it didn't just balance their consumption. It made the United States of America a net energy exporter, which meant that the largest buyer stopped buying and became a seller. So the price will never get beyond $60. And that $60 is artificial. That $60 is not a real price, because if they really let the price hit what it's supposed to hit, the price of oil will fall back to about $21 if normal consumption and normal production. But they're restricting the pipelines, they're restricting output to keep the price at a certain price.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Supply and demand, basic economics. In Trinidad and Tobago, we were always too small to think. And after the first, and I keep saying this, after the first recession driven by the collapse of oil in the 80s, if you remember Trinidad and Tobago, I tell people I used to walk from St. Mary's College to Woodbrook, and half the buildings on Tragreet Road were empty and abandoned. Where Mass Camp was, remember, after Renault closed down, was abandoned. Where they have a bank, Neil and Massey showroom on Tragreet Road, on the corner of Tragreet Road and Dundonald Street, Richmond Street there. That was abandoned. They had trees growing in the middle of it.
Oh, Lord.
No, there was trees next to it where the Cocoa and Coffee Board was, and they have the Workers' Bank there now and thing, or whatever insurance or credit union that is. It had no roof. The banks had drawers of keys for houses in Goodwood Park, Westmoreland.
People were handing in their keys.
A Westmoreland's townhouse was selling for $75,000. An entire townhouse.
Imagine
you could have buy it for $75,000 and fix it. Half of Westmoreland used to be blocked up with piles in the road because only half was built and the other half was half quarter finished. You see how they showed them HTC developments that they finished? That's how Westmoreland, I lived there. That's how it looked for a long time. We used to go and play down by the sea. It was always where the Chamber of Commerce building is now. That used to be an abandoned shell that Fujiko built together to put an office, and the economy collapsed, and it was just the steel frame building, and the sea used to be lapping up at it right there. I know, I grew up like Westmore. Everett Carter and Econocar, that little plywood business right outside. I mean, what kept Westmore together is all these little, Westmore was like Charlotte Street inside. Anybody could have set up a little, and it was no fancy thing, fancy today. Richard's Fun Stickers was the biggest thing in the mall. Westmall couldn't afford to maintain itself, but the bank had done take everything from Bahadur Singh. Remember that? The man who built Westmall and Westmoreland. The bank had done take everything. They had nobody else to go. That closed down CIBC. That's how Republic ended up owning CIBC in the same country. The fact that we didn't, when we went through all of that, that we didn't say, okay, how else can we earn money? Because the rest of the world, outside of the oil producers, the rest of the world, their economies didn't collapse. Their economies boomed. because the price of oil was low. So they were consuming, and the cost of them doing business went down because the price of their energy went down. We didn't look to balance our budget, and we just waited like they waited now. I saw a picture of Rowley and Sharon and Stuart and Faris holding hands in the savannah, in the pavilion in North Stand, with a set of PNM people being led in prayer for a better oil price. And I'm saying, but God must laugh at us. God must laugh at us. God say, no, God had to be laughing at us because if I were God, and I'm saying this with all due respect, and I gave you a country where you spit 2 Portugal seed in the ground and grow a Portugal tree, and you starving, I'd laugh at you. If I give you the only nylon pool in the world, and you don't have tourists coming from everywhere. In the middle of the ocean, there's a swimming pool. That's the nylon pool. Ever been to it?
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean, there's a swimming pool. If America had owned that, it would be on all the travel sites. It would come to the nylon pool.
Of course.
Wonder of the world. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else like it. It's a literal wonder of the world.
Yeah, well, with raising seas, we may just lose that wonder of the world.
The Boko Reef. We allow the pirogue driving P-taxi pirogues to drag their anchors and kill the reef that they're taking people to see. So now people in the glass bottom boats looking out the glass bottom, but they have nothing in the water because we're killing it.
Yep.
And we've never had a government that says the Boko Reef is a wonder of the world. So let's treat it with respect. Tell the boats you can go here and no further. If you're going above the reef, you can't drag your anchor, you can't litter, no effluents, no gas, no nothing in the water, so that we will protect and preserve the Boko Reef. But we didn't do that. We kill it. We kill it. We are the largest brain coral. We, Tobago. Tell people that. I tell you, we are peons, we are peasants, we are plebs. God have to laugh at this nation. We had the largest brain coral in the world. We, Trinidad and Tobago, the largest. Where is it? We were supposed to capitalize on Robinson Crusoe. Tobago is the island that he wrote about. Papillon, who swam from one island to the next. He swam from Tobago to Trinidad. These are histories, just little histories.
Trinidad again, history lesson this morning.
Tourism is concerned. Tobago, and I keep telling people this, but we have no respect for ourselves and what we are. Tobago is the most beautiful destination on planet Earth. There is no Bali, no Bahamas, no Aruba to compare with Tobago. It's just we ruin it.
That's right.
It's like when you find a diamond in the rough, in the ground, you ought to take it out and clean it and polish it and it's pretty then. We have Tobago, but it's like we're just trying to spoil this thing. When they ask you, how would you, Philip Alexander? You say that you would put 1 million, your party would put, your government would put 1 million tourists on the ground through cruise ship alone. The government answered and said, cruise passengers don't spend money. And I said, that was the day I coined the term that we don't have a government, we have a jackass farm. Rowley's not the only jackass in this government. We have a jackass farm because they're not doing any research. If they were doing research, they would know that there is something called stay cruising that is going on in the world right now. It's a growth, it's the biggest explosion of growth, where you get on a ship and you go to the Arctic. And you stay on the ship for 3 days, but you explore the Arctic. So they're not just touching and going. They go to a destination for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. So Tobago could have the best of Trinidad Carnival every week. Every week. Every Wednesday. You could have all our wire benders and sequin makers and all the midnight robber. They come in to see that. They don't want to see more porcelain tiles and air condition. They want to tell you, boy, I sweat, mosquito bite me, iguana in my bed. Oh, good, I had a real good time. They don't need Hyatt and Hilton in Tobago. They have Hyatt and Hilton where they live in.
That's right.
They need their toes in the mud.
In the sand,
that's
in the
what
sea
they
water.
want. They want, when you see their vision, what first world people think I am living in a house built of bamboo.
You want to get the calabash
lace,
bag.
curtain blowing, and the sea right outside my window. That's all I want. You could have done a joint venture. Every single body who have any money to invest, and you tell them this, that the state would provide the land, and this is how the Progressive Empowerment Party would do it. And Keith Rowley, feel free to steal the idea, because we need to put people to work. That all the people who's sitting on money and that could invest right now, we say, listen, all the cruise ships need is a proper marina to dock. Deep water harbor and a marina to dock with facilities to load and offload what they need, food supplies, medical supplies, whatever. Let the passengers come off and have a good time. Have 19, 20 maxi taxi 25-seaters park up there. We taking you to goat racing. We taking you to a Tobago wedding. We taking you down there. We taking you to see the brain coral. That's all they want. You could have investors build the marina. The state have a third by providing the land and give the cruise ship a 33% discount as their ownership. This marina belongs to Pacific Princess. This marina belongs to Monarch of the Seas. This marina belongs to Disney. And every week, 15 ships could dock in Tobago. We are the only tropical Caribbean destination outside the hurricane belt, and we're so stupid we don't know how to maximize it.
Booyah!
Folks, we gotta go pay some bills. We shall be right back.
Problem in Trinidad. What is diabetes?
There are two forms. Diabetes type 1, when your body stops producing insulin. Type 2 diabetes is a result of poor lifestyle. Type 2 diabetes is associated with being overweight, having high blood pressure, at higher risk for heart disease. It is a very serious problem.
Do not wait until it's too late. Let Omega XL be the first step in the right direction.
Get your Omega XL today. Live long, stay strong with Omega XL.
Santana boy, you can pick me up?
Yeah, where you?
By Racetrack Wheels. Boy, I went inside and I lose my mind. It's the best in brand name rims and high performance tires for so. They have specials, so I make my name. Ha ha ha!
Panarine, you don't have a car?
Patsy gon' kill me.
So hurry on down and catch these great specials at Racetrack Wheels. 3 locations: number 330 Eastern Main Road, Aruca; number 64 Southern Main Road, Chase Village; and number 82 Bethany Road, Tobago.
Easter of excitement. Lock on and win big. Get ready to break the code of the day. Look and listen for the bunny hop. Crack the code of the day and you might get a chance to dip into the giant egg. And that's not all. 4 lucky listeners will get a chance to dip into the bonus box and win more. Easter of excitement. Lock on and win big. Big. There's more, and then there's more FM. There's more, and then there is more FM.
People don't know ya, but they won't judge you. They talking about ya, must be something about you.
The station that gives you only the best music in every genre.
¿Cómo te llamas, baby? Desde que te vi supe que eras pa' mí. Dile a tus amigas que andamos ready. Esto lo seguimos en el after party.
We give you the true meaning to more.
This is where you belong. Don't make me wait too long. All night long. Yeah.
Easter of excitement. Lock on and win big. Get ready.
we are right back.
And to the people on the live video, every time one of our celebrities show up, stop fan rushing them now. We have a lot of good people in the PEP who are international experts in their field. If you see them on the live feed, just acknowledge them. You could say hello. I know a lot of y'all want to say, hey, I didn't know you were a pepper too, but though, and Janice just reminded me to say good day to all of the people on the live feeds and the usual suspects. I mean, you know yourselves, and keep sharing the video because we need as many people as possible having this information. We've said from the start that the mission of the Progressive Empowerment Party is to inform, educate, and empower. And that remains, Janice?
Yes, that's correct. And I want to say hello to Carol and Sita, who are on the PEP
Good
live
morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you. And we're going to be taking your calls. I know that you're eager to call in. So we're going to be taking your calls. As usual, we're giving you some ground rules. When you call, remember to turn your radio down so that we don't get the feedback. We're going to be taking your calls on 628-9595 and 628-3131. And also, when you call, please try to condense your contribution while we try to give you as much airtime as possible. Remember, a lot of other people are trying to call in too. So if you would like to have your say and to join us, 628-9595, 628-3131. And while we're waiting on that to happen, Janice.
Yes.
A 50-year-old man who was said to have been a witness to a double murder was himself gunned down at his home on Saturday night. Wow. Now, I want to say, this is why people are low to get involved as witnesses. Let's take that call. Back one.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Philip? Calling from Tunapuna.
Good morning.
Boy, when this PNM government finished with this country, you know, as they say, you go eat grass.
We have started over.
Well, we don't even have savanna grass to eat.
Indeed.
Because of the dry season we're experiencing.
Indeed.
And I want to say this. You remember Coleman Bud said that the past government overheat the borrowing and whatnot and things, Philip? And that they would not be borrowing any money because the last said, I think if I'm not too sure, they must reach over 70% borrowing the limit. And they went to the parliament to extend it and whatnot and things. But here it is again. You're borrowing more money to pay a loan. You're taking a loan to pay a loan. And what about when you can't pay this loan? What you're going to do, Philip? Take a next loan?
Indeed.
Hello?
Indeed.
Right.
No.
And let me tell you finally, I got this hot off the press. When Rowley went for a medical checkup up there.
No, I need you to be very careful.
No.
What you're saying,
they tell him, they say, well, you didn't have to come up here. You live right there and you have a place called Sentence right there. You could have gone to a medical checkup. And furthermore, we don't do, you didn't come here for a prostate checkup. You should have gone to a pap smear. Thank you very much for this.
Janice, let's take the next call. Thanks a lot. 628-9595, 628-3131. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Philip and company there.
Good morning.
This whole deal is petrol cleaning business, petrol sin business now. It has been they're committing this country future population into debt and they're sending us straight into the madhouse with this nonsense. Listen to me, your great grandchildren have nothing to benefit when them for you and these politicians finish with this country, you know. They're going to send all of we into the IMF, to the IMF and behind the IMF. Have a good day.
Have a good day, my friend. 628-9595, 628-3131. Listen, we really want to be the people that brings the ideas and the policies and the plans to the fore, but you had to come and bring your support, huh? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Turn on your radio, please.
Hold on. Yeah. But I call and now say there, right. This government, we borrowing money and putting this country under pressure and more pressure for the poor man.
Yep.
Call him call election, the country is a failure. Probably you and the government so long already. Going 4 years, what happened to the country right now? People balling, and some of them big shot advantaging the smaller man to get rich and all kind of thing. Locked on.
Thank you, caller. 628-95, 628-3131. It's not enough to be outraged and us not stand together. This Saturday, come in here, Janice. This Saturday,
yes.
you could invite them.
Yes, we are having the launch of our Barataria office,
North Hub,
which is also known as the North Hub, and we want you to come and be part of that opening. Come and voice your concerns, ask the questions, meet the executive, and let's sit down and talk, because at the end of the day, we need to get this country back on its feet.
This Saturday at 5 p.m. we're at 10th Avenue, Barataria, opposite Maritime Plaza. You're going to see all of the orange, and you'll see our flags and banners outside, so you'll know where you are. Once you're across from Maritime Plaza, you know you're in the correct place, right? That's this Saturday at 5 p.m., the opening of our North Regional Headquarters. We open our South Regional Headquarters in January. 6 weeks from this Saturday, we will be opening our East Regional Headquarters in Tumpuna Road, Arima. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Philip and company.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I've been listening to this program for quite a while now, and I think I have some ideas, and I would very much like to come down to that opening on Saturday.
Looking forward to meeting you, my friend.
All right, I call from Caroni East. I used to be I worked for the UNC for about 4 or 5 elections. I was a polling clerk. I still am, and I was invited to run for council about 2 weeks ago, and I blanked them. So I would like to come in to Saturday and discuss my business with you all.
Okay. Not a problem. Just let's make yourself known.
You want to tell me your name? You want to tell me your name or who to expect?
You want my name?
Okay, or you could call Tony on 688-4012 to message him.
688-4012?
Yeah, message Tony.
Okay, thank you very much.
628-9595, 628-3131. Call if you would like to have a join in the conversation. But we need to also deal with the other issue that we wanted to talk about today, Tony, and that's the issue about crime and the judiciary and the way it is handled. Good morning.
Please turn on your radio. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Philip Alexander. My son is very fond of you and your party. Right? But what I'm saying, were you ever a member of any political party, like the UNC or the PNM or so?
The Congress of the People. I worked with Gary Griffith as his community minister.
Okay.
Could you turn down your radio?
What I'm saying is that at this point in time, we have no time for trial, because to get the PNM out at any cost. Do you think you can win election?
Right now, you need to turn down your radio. The feedback.
Okay, let me go and turn it down.
Take the other call when she
figures out. Hold on. Give me a minute.
That up for me, Janice. Thank you. When she figure out how to use her radio, how her phone should.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning to the panel. Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Alexander and company. I listen to you all religiously. In fact, when I leave home, I listen to the panchayat and then turn straight on to you when you come on whatever date you want. But I heard you all made a statement, and the caller previous to this one just made me click, and I wanted to bring this point up to you, that you are insisting that you don't want any recycle and other politicians, but you need them, huh?
We don't need recycle politicians.
You need recycle politicians because these are the people who would move. You're not going to get much new people coming on here. You're going to get recycled politicians coming from the UNC and probably the PNM.
When you're talking about recycled politicians, what exactly are you talking about? As in ministers?
That's right. People who are set up of both of them. You would be getting some like the gentleman you just called from
you have to hear what I'm telling you. They are much better
politicians too as well.
Much better people who are not PNM and the UNC. We do not need any recycled politicians. We do not want. In fact, I want to tell you why we are so adamant. Because a lot of these recycled politicians are going to be investigated and prosecuted for corruption in this country. We're not doing business with them. And if you don't like it, vote for who you want to vote for. But the Progressive Empowerment Party is adamant. We are not working with any other political party, and we are not accepting any recycled politicians.
That's why you're going to cut me off, but that's why you're going to end up how it is.
Okay, if that is what you want for your country, I would have known. I tried.
And you know, every time I talk to you, you tend to push me away from the party that I want to join.
Because you don't want to hear honesty. You want the same nonsense. You want to make our next version of the UNC and the PNM, and we are not that. We are not interested in that. I will lose with my integrity than join forces and call it a victory.
Listen, and this is what you need to listen a little bit, Mr. Alexander.
Not to that. I do not need to listen to that. You are not doing the work that I am doing. I didn't step out here to join forces with the corrupt criminals that have ruined this country. I am not interested in that.
I wish you all, and you're someone I will only to because you need to listen to people too.
No problem. I know Kamala and them. I know the way. I know the
need to listen to people too. If you want to form this vibrant party,
joining with the UNC. We're not joining with the UNC.
You join with any party, Mr. Alexander. You're missing the point.
So which recycled politician you want us to accept in our party?
Well, like, who wants to change? There are politicians in each party, in all the parties that wants to change, you know.
I want to ask you a question. While the criminality is going on in the country right now, while the corruption was going on under the UNC, I can't help you. We could lead a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. I'm trying to inform you that there are criminals that have been
involved. Your phone breaking up too. Your phone breaking up.
Janice,
your phone breaking up. Your phone breaking up.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Alexander.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, it's me here again. I will give you my name. My name is Carmelita, right?
Carmelita. How you doing? Where you calling from, Carmelita?
Calling from Aruka.
Aruka. All right.
Right. And what I was asking you is, were you ever a member of any other political party? And you was mentioning to me you were with Gary Griffith and all these sort of things, right? But what I'm saying, at this point in time with this PNM government, who have us suffering and doing all kind of nonsense and rubbish with our money, right? You don't think that another party will split votes?
Ma'am, I want to tell you this. If we end up with either the PNM or the UNC in government post-2020, pack everything you own and leave. I'll tell you why. Because a time will come when the money in your pocket will have no value. We heading there. Look at what they're doing.
It's in the Bible.
The PNM and the UNC have destroyed this country. And rather than
did that. I don't think so.
But I'm telling you a fact. Under the PNM and the UNC, you think the UNC did well? I want to ask you a question. You think
the UNC did well. They work hard. I'm not saying that some ministers who...
Well, I'm telling you, the entirety of the UNC was corrupt, and all they did was steal money. And whatever you think they did were projects to steal money. And I apologize to you that you felt at the time that was the only choice you had. The country cannot survive another PNM or UNC term. I am telling you plain as day.
Well,
so
I
the
still
people
love
of
the
China
UNC.
today who have a responsibility now to rescue this country from the criminals who have destroyed it.
I think the only person can rescue this country right about now, I would prefer you in the opposition, is Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. And I don't want to get vexed with her because that's my opinion.
UNC bandit party? No, ma'am, the country does not need that. It
so we know that some of your ministers are saying won't be bandit. You can talk to yourself. Could you speak for them?
Andy Williams, Mikey K and Andy Williams. I watched Brian Stone stand up for this UNC. Brian Stone end up with a defamation against Keith Rowley. Not one of those dirty, stinking UNC lawyers stand with that boy. Brian Stone do more for the UNC than any other activist and take his losses. Look, this morning they had no ground report. Ask the UNC who's supposed to be paying their bill where the money. That UNC government stink and rotten to the core.
I don't think so.
Well, all right.
I think you have it wrong.
Disagree. No problem. Have a good day. I think 628-9595, 628-3131. And to anybody who think that at any point in time the solution to this country is bringing back a different abuser, you're wrong. This is not the station. Actually, this is not the show for that. Don't call to ask us to gang up with the UNC against the PNM. The PNM and the UNC are two sides of the same racist, divisive, corrupt coin. Janice, we have calls.
Morning,
listen to me. What we saying, when the UNC was the brother, was more money than the PNM. So you talking about...
Get up and let Tony handle the calls now, because we need to be able to cut off the UNC paid callers. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, caller.
Change the topic a little, right? Back in the days, I just want to ask you and Tobago a question. How far we come? Because
back in the days, how slavery used to work, right? Is that you work for me and I clothe you and I feed you, right? Now we out of slavery, so we go and we study and we get a degree and things. And before we look to become entrepreneurs, the first thing we do is carry a resume and things to the 1%, work for them. And then when we get we pay, we want to buy something to eat, them own all the restaurant. You want to buy something to drink, them own the brewery. You want to buy clothes, them own all the stores. You want to buy sheets or clothing for the house, them own everything.
But I want to ask you a question,
I know you can add your 2 cents, Alexander.
Yeah.
But so instead of work for me and I clothe you and feed you, now you're working for me, I pay you, and you send back all the money on me. And back in the days of the slavery now, is black man used to catch black man and sell them to the white man. Now we put somebody there who look like we, so we vote for them to keep the trend to keep we in the same state of mind we in. So how far we come as a nation from slavery to back then till now? That's what I want to ask you, Tobago.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, man.
He take his time to write out his little ideology, so I guess I had to let him go with that. It's oversimplified. It's not so simple. It wasn't. I will feed you and clothe you and you work for me. If that is what slavery was, I would make myself a slave.
Hello, good morning.
That is
morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Wonderful lady and gentlemen.
How are you going, sir?
Let us take 5 deep breaths. There are some people out there. They are sycophants. I am no sycophant. I ain't for Philip more than I for anybody. But Philip, you know you're saying the things that need to be said and you understand it. And I've told you, take your time and tell it to them, Philip. Remember that conversation. This is your friend who twisted his ankle around the savannah. Right? I'm not in the country, but I'm listening to you.
Thank you, caller.
My brother, son, I'm saying to you. To the gentleman, Philip, the gentleman who is telling you that you're going to need this one and that one. I think what he needs to understand is, yes, we know they have all of the prior experiences, but we will hire them as consultants. They will probably be consulted with, but they no longer will be able to make decisions.
But I need to interrupt you on that because I need to be very, very clear. I want to be lucidly clear. I want nothing to do with anybody who was a minister in the PNM or the UNC. Not one. No, I lie. I had to apologize. There are only 2 people, I guess, that you had to say were tainted by the UNC brush. And that was Wayne Sturge as a senator and Gary Griffith, who was the Minister of National Security. Because Gary needs to be this country's Minister of National Security again, and Wayne Sturge needs to be our Attorney General.
Well,
but thanks a lot for your contribution, caller. And yeah, but you see, if we allow sycophants to just call and say...
I don't know what is going on in the lady's head, but I think she must have forgotten who was that other lady who was in charge. Friends. Some of her friends have to go up the road. And I don't know how she wants to reconcile those kinds of relationships. So we're just looking and watching and learning and keep on keeping on. Country first. Country first.
Thank you.
628-959628-313.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, morning, Philip Saturday, boy. I don't know you deposit.
So Kamala go, they open. No, this again. Every time that they're trying to raise their profile, they have to come and attack Philip on this show to say that because the UNC posting on Facebook and everybody coming and asking, how are you songing like the PEP so? How are you teething PEP policies like this? You knew to open regional headquarters before, and it makes people feel like that they're speaking on behalf of the public. These people getting scripts text to their phone and phone card free.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, and to the panel.
Morning, sir.
I want to find out if you could assist by asking the finance minister how much money did they pay down on all those aeroplanes that they ban now in the worldwide. That is my question. I want to know, because he said early when they came into power that you Kamala spent out all the money. I want to know how much money did they pay down on those 12 planes that they speak about.
Thanks a lot for that, caller. We will ask the question for you one good day. And our job is not to mediate between the PNM and the UNC. And Trinidad needs to get over that sickness, that idea that either the PNM or the UNC could fix this country. If Kamala Persad-Bissessar was a prime minister of any value, when she left office in a country that has enough water to feed and supply water to everybody in this country, we would have had water everywhere we needed it. We didn't. There are some people who say that they get water, but what they didn't realize is the UNC and the PNMs do the same trick. They take the same limited water and send it to their areas at the expense of the other areas. That's what we time now mean. That's what we time now mean.
People not understanding that at all.
Jobs is important. Jobs are important, but not the type of jobs that we have here. We have dead end jobs. People, the caller who called to ask, you go and you get your degree and you come. It was a Trinidadian who Stokely Carmichael, who said, if you go to university to acquire knowledge, to come and work for another man, you're just a degreed slave. You're supposed to be opening a business. You're supposed to be, because if you're working for Bill Gates, what's the difference between Bill Gates and you? You have a brain, you have a brain. I mean, at the end of the day, what are you doing differently? Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are you going, sir?
Mr. Alexander.
Good morning.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes, you hearing me?
Mr. Alexander.
Not hearing me, Janice.
Hello.
They're not hearing Janice.
Hello, can you hear us?
Mr. Alexander is speeding, taking his
Janice, they're not hearing. They're calling to read scripts. They're calling to read scripts and blocking up the phone line. 628-9595, 628-3131. Our truth this morning is the country has been run into the ground. The people who made it big in Trinidad and Tobago financed the PNM and the UNC, and they continue to benefit and push forward with each different version of these governments.
That's what it seems as if the people don't understand. You're coming and talking about, you come and bring in past politicians. The point of the matter is, what has the past politicians done for the people? Right? You're supporting a political party, whether it be the UNC or the PNM, and with all the goodness you may have in your heart, you're supporting a party that's not supporting you, and that is the point. And you, as ministers passing through that parliament, you have not spoken in one voice or on behalf of the people in its entirety. You're right, because you can't tell me 5 years coming and going, you having a portfolio in tenure and still not able to truly do for the people on a holistic way. Come now, man. We cannot, Trinidad and Tobago, subscribe to that. We cannot.
Janice,
well, the most important thing is that they're not doing the work that is required in their communities.
Yeah, but this is the whole point. Look, we just keep
people in the communities that put them in office.
We have said the only time you see the MPs is a year, 9 months, 6 months before election.
Tony, the same madness that holds the minds of the PNM supporters holds the minds of the UNC supporters. The UNC supporters are the farmers. The sugar farmers who never get paid.
Yeah.
The UNC supporters is the one who watched them close down Caroni under John Rahal and Patrick Manning. That watch Kamala come and sit down and twiddle her thumbs for 5 years and 6 months. Why didn't open back Caroni? If you don't want to grow cane,
thank you.
Make farmlands available.
Exactly.
Instead of making farmlands
she had the power to do
farmers, you make farmlands available to your financiers like Joe Paris. You get Joe Paris 100 acres. You come and you make farmland available to Derek Chin and Movie Town. You come and make farmland available to all the cineplexes. Kamala Prasad Bissessa do that. Under Kamala Prasad Bissessa, they move all the people from Shagville and Shagaramas and give it to the 1% to make a water park. So now black people and Indian people and Syrian people and Chinese people can walk onto the beach for free. You have to pay a 1%. Miss me with all your nonsense this morning.
You want UNC?
Yes.
All you want, go for UNC now, man. Hello, morning caller.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Alexander, and your co-host there.
Thank you. How are you going there?
I'm okay. I'm interested in your party, and I'm like what I'm hearing.
Nice.
Mr. Alexander, let me congratulate you. Out of the three political leaders in the party, I think you have what it takes to be a prime minister, and we need change in this country. You are an individual who have been dealing with issue on the ground, and you call a spade, just like myself. Two things. In terms of once you become prime minister of this country, you're not being a political leader, prime minister, because you'll be prime minister for all, right?
For all.
What is your intention in terms of filling the vacancies, the thousands of vacancies that we keep hearing in service commission? Because time and time we have keep hearing about many vacancies in service commission funds being allocated for these vacancies. People out there every year, thousands of people out there seeking for jobs and haven't been able to fill these vacancies in Service Commission. Secondly, vacancies in local government. Government come, government go have not been able to deal with the vacancies in local government. Another situation. And last, what is your intention, or should I ask you in this way? Do you intend to do like the past government, which is under Dr. Rowley, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and Mr. Manning, go keep going to the Chinese government and borrowing huge amount of billions in money, and when the contract is being awarded, given to the Chinese government, I don't know what terms and agreement, and also their workers are Chinese nationals.
That's right.
When you have people down here who have to pay heavy taxes and most of us not working, could you just address those three issues?
All right, so the first question you asked me is about the service commissions and local government. The third one was about overseas loans, Chinese, etc. What was the middle one? Or was the local government the second one?
Yes, the vacancies in local government.
She gone already?
Yes.
Okay, so let's address those three things. One, the service commissions. The reason why the last two governments, in fact the last four governments, have resisted populating the service commissions is because these same service commissions are part and parcel of what is required to keep government honest. You need government functional. We need government capable. And the service commission plays a part in the judicial, legal and service commission, the police service commission, the teaching service commission. Their jobs are oversight and to make sure that the right persons are in the right positions in all of these things. If we have that not functional, then we could blame that as to why the country not functional. The question she asked about local government, I mean, we were going to dedicate a series of shows to this, so I just want to touch base on it for her, that it is our view that the way the country is set up now, the way the police precincts are set up, the way the regional health authorities are set up, and the local government is set up, those three things don't match. One is 9, one is 6, and one is 16. And then they don't match up with the elections and boundaries constituencies, which is 41. And we wanted to make seamless communication so that the delivery of service from government to people would be without hitch, that you wouldn't have to find out who to communicate with for what. Our plan is to replace the regional health authorities and the local government and the police precinct model now with 41 constituency boards of supervisors. A supervisor for public works, public utilities, public health, education and security. Those 5 things are critically important to managing the day-to-day life of the citizens of the country. And having replaced local government with public works supervisor, it means that everything in your constituency that you think needs repairing is a direct line between you and that person to get that job done. That's important. The last thing she asked about was the Chinese loan, and we talk about that all the time. We said that the country does not need to engage in the kind of outsourced financing that we engage in right now, that we know there's a fact that they just used by the PNM and the UNC to generate kickbacks in the Chinese bank accounts.
That's it.
We didn't need that. You could use Trinidad money. You could use Trinidad investors. You could use regional investors. It doesn't have to be China. When they opened Phoenix Park and they said there are 10 Chinese companies coming in Phoenix Park, I say, so China is the only country in the world?
Right.
What happened to the rest of the countries who want to come in Phoenix Park too? Why we not go in America, Canada, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, Germany, Japan? Where? There are people all over the world, but we are indebting ourselves to China so that these mocking pretenders in public office could get their little kickback and their little commission. And 20 years down the road, you find out China own Tobago.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's how they move.
That is how it's going to happen. That is how they're going to happen.
That we can't pay the $250 billion that we owe in China, so they come and they take the whole of Tobago.
Yeah. Lock, stock and barrel. Lock, stock and barrel. All they get tired with that.
We also say that to do contracts and to do public works in Trinidad and Tobago, we would like to pass a law and stipulate that all public works done in all constituencies must be done in companies registered in that constituency. And only in that constituency.
And the mandate also of the contractor has to employ its employees that originate from that constituency.
Absolutely. So Junior Sami and Kusas and Calco have to pick one of the 41 constituencies and do work there.
That's right.
Now there will be national contracts like highways and drainage and stuff that you can put out a tender locally, regionally, and internationally that is going to be awarded based on skill set, based on price. And we want to blind the system. We want to make sure that between the requirement and the provision, there is an arm's length and a disconnect, so that the people who actually award the contract are not connected to the people requesting the contract. So that you have no way of knowing who to bribe.
Right. Right.
In this country, a minister says, I need 10 trucks. You could pull up by the minister's house and say, hey, I have 10 trucks. What was the deal? What I do?
Yeah, how much you want me to tender for?
I'm an electrical contractor.
Yeah.
How many buildings a building?
Yeah.
All right, so we say that's $44
But
million.
that's what going on.
We double it to 88 million.
That's what going on, Philip.
And Trinidadians are asking no questions. Trinidadians say down there, we watching. We say, okay, so we see the government shut down Petrotrin, divide it up, make it into new companies and put those companies for sale. Why is that happening? Who has spoken to us? Where's the conversation and the consensus? A man named Nigel Darwin told me last night, it is better that we have the private sector drive the economic engine. That may very well be so, but you can't do it by vaps and on the hoof. You can't have policy being made up as you go. You can't decide for me today that you allowed Malcolm Jones and crew to raid and plunder Petrotrin, wound it, and then come and tell me because it's wounded, we have to sell it. That's circular reasoning. We have a responsibility to make sure that this country has an economic engine, at least one. Petrotrin and National Gas Company, for now, are important, but we need a version of Caroni. Change the name Caroni, National Food Company. So it says it in the name, the National Food Company, with one mandate, its mission statement, to make Trinidad and Tobago food independent. That's it. See how simple?
Simple thing.
Food independent.
Yeah.
So if Trump go to war with the Venezuelans and the Chinese can't ship here, we could still eat. And Hadco and Amco and Massey could close up or they could close down. The people could still eat. We must make sure that the small farmers have access to the people through retail and set up 41 real food markets in this country.
Trinidad only listener, man.
Diego Martin West must have a food market that the farmers could come and sell to the people of Diego Martin West. So we must be able to compete on a global scale, and we must be able to operate our country if we need to close our borders. Trinidad and Tobago cannot do any of those things now. We do not compete on a global scale. We put nothing out into the market that the world needs, and there is a high likelihood that if there is an interruption in the way the world is running, like right now, what's going on? They're talking about war 7 miles from our coast. If that war break out,
traffic and shipping stop right here, you know.
If that war break out, China and Russia and America is a standoff.
Yeah.
Business as usual on our ports.
Ain't happening.
Not happening.
That's right. That's
business
right.
as usual, not happening.
Yeah.
And Trinidadians will learn, and we will rue the day that we put our diet in the hands of who provides us our flour. Because our diet doesn't come from here. And that if 90% of what we buy as groceries, we buy from Massey, and 80% of what Massey sells, they buy from importers, then if it can't get on the ship and the ship can't get to the port, we will eat grass. The savannah grass.
Or each other.
Yeah. And I saw one comment of a fella say he preferred to eat grass. I don't want to eat grass.
But you know what I want to tell you, Janice? The stupid people should not be the ones that are allowed to dictate where the rest of us go. And I want to tell the first caller who called and said that you will split the votes. We have no interest in splitting the PNM and the UNC votes. They could keep that. The people that I speak to all the time are the people who never vote, who have no interest in the PNM and the UNC. And that is almost 50% of the population. If we wake that sleeping giant up, the PNM could keep and the UNC could keep the sycophants and the mindless masses. We speak to the critical thinkers, the people who say, yes, you're damn right. We could fix the roads, we could fix traffic, we could put water in the taps. You're damn right. We could get jobs. We could do foreign direct investment in Trinidad and Tobago. We could end the feeding frenzy and jobs for the boys. That is all of the ambassadors and high commissioners. Your Excellency, my red ass. We need to bring all of them back to Trinidad and Tobago and fire them. We need to establish 5 ambassadors to the world: the Americas, United Nations, Europe, Africa, and Asia. That's it. Your job is to go there and to work. And if you can't work, come back home. Fire them. Put people who are capable of going there and selling Trinidad to the world and bringing foreign direct investments.
Tell them.
Yes.
Tell them.
That's your whole work. That's your job description. You can't do it. Fire them.
Not
but
cocking
we want to
glass
keep talking
and
stupidness. Why is Orville London in London? Orville London is still sightseeing, clinking glasses and drinking, having a time of his life, courtesy of the taxpayers. Because people too stupid to wake up and realize that what the PNM and the UNC doing to them is pissing on the back and telling them that it's rain falling.
It's rain.
Want us to play some music? Let me get them a song.
It's rain.
When we come back, we'll take some more calls. Yeah, I
You're
ready.
playing a song there, John. I wanna anyway on your next
I
tax.
ready if you're ready. Give us a. Maybe you need to pull along those, the mics. But if Ches is hearing us, maybe he could come and help us get to the point where we could actually get the music out. They have a song that I would like to play for you, and I want you to hear because it's important to the.
Well, while you're figuring out your song, let me just make a little small announcement. The funeral service for Clifford Moses, aka Champion, would be held on Tuesday, 19th of March 2019 at 10 a.m. at the Armstrong Funeral Home located at 14 King Street, Arima. That again is Clifford Moses, his funeral service, aka Champion, is happening on Tuesday, 19th of March at Armstrong Funeral Home located at 14 King Street, Arima. This was a good soul, yeah, definitely. We lost our next good one.
Is my microphone having any problems with my microphone? A fella one of the listeners just told me that we're having that they might be getting my microphone low. How are you hearing it in your headset?
Very good.
Well, then that different people have different problems with their thing.
Yeah, in fact, it's all yeah.
Pageant Ches.
Trinidad and Tobago.
The UNC doing a wickedness and a disservice to the country and are saying this clear as a bell. Stop lying to your people. Kamala, account for the fact. I want to ask a question, Anthony Defoe. This question is to the critical thinkers of the country. No, the vast majority of people in this country are brilliant thinkers. They've allowed themselves to be dumbed down and settle for PNM UNC as a conversation. Let's ask a question. I want to ask you a question, right? If you go to buy a KFC in Arima and a KFC in San Fernando and a KFC in Port of Spain, do you expect it to taste the same?
Yes.
Do you expect the price to be the same?
Yes.
Do you expect the service to be the same?
Yes.
So how about a Coca-Cola? You drink a Coca-Cola in Scarborough, Tobago, and you drink a Coca-Cola in Caroni, Trinidad. Do you expect the Coca-Cola to taste the same?
Yes.
So why it is we would spend, and I'm asking this question, I want to couch it in terms of KFC and Coca-Cola, because we understand KFC and Coca-Cola. Why is it that we would allow a government to spend $5 billion on education every year? So under Manning Pandey, Kamala Rowley, we've had $120 billion spent on education. Why would some of those schools that benefit from this money, why would some be prestige schools and some fail?
Very good question, boy Philip.
Why would you have to fight?
Yeah.
Why would you have to fight to get into Fatima or St. Mary's or Presentation or Holy Name or St. Joseph? Why would you have to kill yourself? People just talk like that. Why the child commit suicide because they pass by junior secondary?
Yeah.
Why would that be the case? Why would that be the case? You think we're ready?
Yeah.
Want to try it now?
Oh boy. Very good analogy though, Philip.
We'll come back to that, but I
want to like that.
Yeah, there is.
I visited Parliament Chamber, witness an orchestra, a band of only politicians. Well, rated their performance on style, talent and endurance. A band of parliamentarians. Politics that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate. Bridges replaced by gates. Nurturing racism, pressure
throat. Keyboard is playing rock note in this band, band, band of serial politicians. Their lyrics that rhyming, some have no sense of timing in this band, band, band of parliamentarians. Say people for the bubblists, promoting the cause of justice, or what democracy at risk. When this section called to the fore, music rock to the core, who arrange the score, so impure with the UNC and the BNM and the COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Corruption rebuff, say enough is enough. The system will always fail. Once the big fish not make it jail. No integrity, no morality. Blackmail, cabal and infight, some playing wrong chord for spite in this band of notorious politicians. While Dr. Kublai singing is noise making and booing from this band of parliamentarians. Like a cult pushing one head, singing songs of heartless and dread, wishing for people to dead. With a big greater crowd audience, complimentary to cause disturbance and striking performance. Arrogance with the UNC and the BNM, COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Check on the crime rate, the violence inflate, the bandits see us as bait, yet they're telling us to hold faith. Every night is awake, how much more must we take? Song engineer stop kicking. Can you see that the mix need fixing in this band of career politicians? Focus on harmonizing, not chewing up and spitting in this band of parliamentarians. Friends and family with contract, billions did us extract, riding taxpayers back. PR and marketing plan, covering lies and deception, bamboozling the dan, population. The UNC and the BNM and the COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Time to clench your fists, stand up and insist. We can't continue like this. We'll end up in a crisis, Lord. The power of the world, let your voices be heard.
Don't think twice. Super quality would never be beaten on price. Conveniently located at Trincity, Kufa, and Endeavour Road, Shoguanas. Come experience the comfort, ease of shopping from your one-stop for variety. Look out for weekly specials. For further details, call 223-9715. Super quality, never beaten on price.
Easter of excitement. Lock on and win big. Get ready to break the code of the day. Look and listen for the bunny hop. Crack the code of the day and you might get a chance to dip into the giant egg. And that's not all. 4 lucky listeners will get a chance to dip into the bonus box and win more. Easter of excitement. Lock on and win big. Big.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
We're back inside. I want to give you a little song there to tell you the main purpose and the mission has to be unite the nation, because if we don't unite the nation, we're going nowhere. We could talk all the facts and all the figures. We could talk everything and we could give you all the information you need. Ultimately, you have to choose. We could choose to be a cesspool, you know. In fact, for 56 years, we've been choosing to be a cesspool. We've done that to ourselves. Everything that is wrong in Trinidad and Tobago, make no mistake, every single thing that is wrong in Trinidad and Tobago, listen, our country has no sport policy that you could speak about that treats with the people who would like to dedicate their lives to sport. And we have some of the best athletes in the world. Janice, why would it take that our people have to go to do track and field in America and learn how to swim in America? Why we can't do that here?
That's a good question, Philip. I don't understand it either. For years now.
But you see, I want to say, because and Atto on the live, he watching the live, right? Mm-hmm. Atto is a Trinidadian. Atto is coaching the fastest woman in the world right now. Mm-hmm. She's now 17. This girl is about to explode, and all of his athletes.
Right.
Why don't we have Atto Bolden running our sports in Trinidad and Tobago? We have a minister of sport who knows nothing about sport.
And she said so.
We have a minister of health who knows nothing about health. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He has no clue what he is doing.
That's right.
His job is to facilitate his former bosses. He was a pharmaceutical sales rep.
That's right.
That's your Minister of Health.
Yeah.
We're not serious. We are not serious in this country. We do not have any policies for spatial planning. You could do what you want, where you want. We had a proper functional community in Woodbrook that we ruined to advantage to open bars. We take it as some pride that you could walk from one end of Arapita Avenue to the other getting drunk all along the way. Things that should have been built in Port of Spain, that Independence Square, that shuts down at night. Instead of sending it there to put life in the city at night when the daylight businesses close, we destroy Woodbrook. Woodbrook was the model community that every community should have been modeled after. It had churches, temples, mosques, parks for recreation. It was laid out in a grid pattern. There were commercial districts and there were residential areas. And the people who grew up in Woodbrook could tell you, prior to the invasion that destroyed it, because when you hear the residents talk about what they put up with at night, those closest to Arapita Avenue, it's unfair.
Yes, it is.
It's absolutely unfair to wake up in the morning.
You have a community of elderly people as well, who feel totally punished by the music every single night.
But when you listen to Trinidadians, they say, but sell your property now, man.
No, only
Why
that,
you must sell your property?
as you wake up in the morning, you come in and we're greeted with the smell of piss.
That too.
Right?
That or vomit on your sidewalk.
Your children learning, your children have schoolwork, your children have homework, your children have to go to sleep at night to get up to go to school the next day. But they getting music jamming in the head.
Yeah.
Baseline ponging, EMA coming and measuring. But they're not measuring what is happening in your house. So they will tell you that this is acceptable. But you don't know if what you say in your baseline is acceptable. But in the bedroom of the children that are trying to sleep because they have school tomorrow, it is still noise and it is still keeping them awake, and it is unfair.
Yeah.
That is unfair. I asked before we took the break just now, how could we spend $5 billion on education? I just want to use this as an example and I'm using it as an example because Kamala Prasad Bisesa was a Minister of Education. That was her job under the UNC, under Pasio Pandey.
Right.
She was the Minister of Education. I want to ask the UNC supporters, how could some of our schools be prestige schools and some of our schools be failed schools? Oh. And you ask that question out there, they want to border on racism. They want to tell you, them Callan, hit hard. But every time you want to confront and resolve that, you want to tell people racism doesn't affect the ability to learn.
Yeah.
It is our ability to teach that is compromised. We do not have a functional education system that treats all of the children with the same standard of education. Some get a good education and some get none at all.
Correct.
You tell them 7,000 children because of that, because we do not manage it. 7,000 children fail out of our education system every year. You say them, send them in trade school. It's like we don't understand what managing a society, what planning a society is. We don't understand. We have a clue that you have a responsibility to make sure that at the end of the scholastic career, some children can go on to degree, some could go on to other disciplines, but that everybody, you have a base, you have an acceptable line that all children must
meet.
have this knowledge,
Yes.
so that you could go in a direction.
Yeah.
If during the school career you identify somebody that is extremely artistic, musical, predisposed to working with their hands rather than their brains, that they have some people who would literally prefer to be a carpenter, a mason. Those are important trades. Without those people, without every type of career, you can't have everybody as doctors and lawyers or have the rest of society.
Exactly.
What the doctor will do when his toilet back up?
Yeah.
He need a plumber.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why is there a difference? And all of these things have to be addressed. We've mismanaged the country to the point where our people don't even know what is wrong or how to ask for it to be put right. We have a judiciary. I say every time, thank God for Carol Gobin. Justice Gobin is a bright light.
Yeah.
She
I
is
read
a
her article
bright
the other
light.
day.
She is the person standing up for justice in the judiciary.
Right now.
And she tells you that some of the things taking place in the judiciary worries her for her safety. This is our judiciary.
My God.
Janice, this is our version of what should be sacrosanct. This here is where law, we deal with the issue of law. What is supposed to elevate us to our highest self, that is being ruined. People don't understand. I do so much research. When I find out stuff, I bring it to Trinidadians one time. I say, look at this. In America, there's something called the Speedy Trial Statute. You can't just say, Your Honor, justice delayed is justice denied, and the judge bow his head and nod along and agree. Because that's just bullshit. You've just exchanged bullshit. If you don't have a speedy trial statute, and a speedy trial statute in America says this: 160 days, be ready for trial or vacate. 160 days, 5 months. You charge somebody, you are the state, and you've charged them. You have 5 months to be ready to try them. That is the speedy trial statute. Justice delayed is justice denied. So if in 160 days you and your organization that had evidence to arrest or to charge, you better have evidence to prosecute.
That's right.
You have 160 days from the charge. 5 months. That's enough time.
Yeah, get your act together.
If you cannot prosecute, it vacates. That is the speedy trial statute. That's one. 2, put a timer on all matters in the courts. When I tell people that we have a situation where a court case where a man broke into Stevens and Johnson's and it took 25 years for that matter to conclude, most people ask me, what is a Stevens and Johnson's? Because we have an entire generation, Janice. We have 2 generations now.
I don't know.
Stevens and Johnson went in the 80s. That's 30 years ago. Gone. Breaking the Stevens and Johnson. What is a Stevens and Johnson? How could it take 25 years for a breaking and entering? We have a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party whose sister was raped inside a police station by the ranking police officer. That matter took 17 years.
Imagine that.
You could bring somebody up. You could sue somebody. You could sue somebody, a personal civil matter, and that matter drag on and on and on. And the issue is we have no case management, and the judge and the magistrate not responsible. Justice delayed is justice denied. If you had a timer on it, because when you watch all those TV shows and movies and you see them dealing with the judge, when they ask, Your Honor, we need an adjournment, the judge checks his docket, but he checks his clerk, because the clerk would be able to say, hey, we into this on some time now. If you know, we may not be able to afford the adjournment, because if you put a timer on a matter and you say that for civil matters the judge has a responsibility to bring this matter to a conclusion in 3 years, and for criminal matters the judge has a responsibility to case manage that case to a conclusion, to hand to the jury 5 years. 5 years, because justice delayed is justice denied. And if you cannot bring your case to a conclusion, 3 years for civil matters and 5 years for criminal matters, vacate the matter. Vacate it. And judges that fail to bring their matters to a conclusion within the time frame on continuing basis need to be removed from the bench. You are not capable of doing the job. We cannot afford a backlog. Justice delayed, justice denied. We do not need to have amalgamated security driving up and down the road with prisoners in the back of a truck like cattle, when the magistrate court could be built outside the jail for pennies on the dollar that we pay in amalgamated security to drive like madmen, run you off the road.
Them create half of the traffic that does take place, because when them passing through, the whole road in a mess now. You know?
When I live in Diego Martin, and you could set your clock to the amalgamated sirens coming through. Get out the way. We don't need that.
Yeah, moving one magistrate is so much easier, so much more cost effective. And again, if we spend 200 million a year to move prisoners up and down the road, it could cost me 1 million one time to put a court right outside the court.
Even if you spend 10 million, you need to spend $50 million to build the court outside the jail. You don't have to spend it next year. Yeah. But if you don't, you have to spend the money transporting prisoners every year.
But you know, the lady who called in earlier today and was talking about how things were better on the Kamala Bissessa. That's one question I have to ask her. Kamala was in government. She is an attorney. Why did not she fix that problem?
Janice.
Why?
Ask Manning, Pandey, Kamala and Rowley this one question. If we were a serious country, we would get upset that I could ask this question this morning.
You're correct.
Why did none of them secure this nation's borders? Kamala knew. I know Kamala knew. Because Kamala was head of the National Security Council when I was the communications advisor to the Minister of National Security. So I am aware that she was aware.
That's right.
That securing the nation's borders would have ended the drug trade. Ask Kamala why she didn't end the drug trade. That securing the nation's borders would have ended the flow of guns that killing people in this country. Ask Kamala why she didn't secure the borders. They were playing OPV games. Sort and nonsense. Gary Griffith, bring him on any show and ask him. And Gary will tell you that if we secure the borders, the police and the army that we have could clean up this country in a year. But you picking up guns off the street now and guns coming in Cedros tonight. A man, a businessman in this country still fighting with me because I went on Hema's show and I said that yachts in Yacht Club drive up and park up and could offload anything. He vexed. Because I shouldn't say that. Because he is a member of Yacht Club 25 years now. I say that doesn't matter to me.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter to me if you're not bringing in guns, if you're not bringing in drugs, if you're not bringing in contraband. That is not the issue. The issue is anybody could.
That's right.
Manning's decision to go and buy OPVs was not the solution. Patrick Manning knew. But OPVs had kickback money in it. When you go and deal with Hostal, they have third-party companies dealing commissions and kickback for PNM.
There's the name of the game.
But tell me too, on the same thing with the Yacht Club. He said he has a yacht and he was surprised that he don't get questioned or called out to when he's entering Trinidad and Tobago waters after his trip outside.
Leave it broken, man. Leave the country broken.
Everybody knows. Everybody. But what are we doing about it?
Not a damn thing.
What are we doing about it?
You could talk and talk and talk. And the people that want to try to really bring change and make sense out of the nonsense, you want to ridicule and boy, watch me. This place really going mad, you know. Yeah, what I telling you? It really going mad because you consciously waking up in the morning and say, yes, I go still support the UNC.
I have no interest. When people ask me to debate with them, somebody just message me and tell me, bring those two UNC callers onto the show and debate with them. I have no interest in that. I'll tell you why. If you are intelligent enough to coming out of the rain when rain falling, you're supposed to be intelligent enough to look around and see what is wrong with your country and why. The government has one job, to seek the welfare of all the people. If any of the people, if we have homeless people, I remember when Patrick Manning said that when he finished as prime minister, he going to be a pastor in a church. I said, that ain't God. You're going and represent Satan. You are the prime minister. With the stroke of a pen, you could change the lives of the homeless, and you don't. We have 3,000 homeless people in this country, and you do nothing to address and ameliorate their condition. We play blame game, talk about who mad, who on drugs, who wife throw them out. I don't want those answers. I want a government that understands that the well-being of all the citizens is the responsibility of the government. That the prime minister's job does not end because he think he tired. That if they have human beings living homeless in this country, it is an indictment against the operation of the entire country. Who is responsible for operating the country? The government. If you on a maxi taxi and it weaving all over the road and looking like it's gonna crash, you gonna argue with the person next to you or the driver? Who have the responsibility to drive straight or stop the van?
Yeah.
Think it through there.
Correct.
I have no interest in trying to fight people who want to be deliberately stupid. I have no interest in that. You cannot convince a man who has abdicated the use of reason. That is literally fighting a dead horse. That is literally beating a dead horse. You ever hear the dead horse theory?
Yeah.
Native American Indians say that if you're riding a horse and you realize he's dead, get off. In Trinidad, we try to saddle two dead horses together and see if it'll work. We will try and go and see if they have somebody who could help us come and talk to the dead horse and make him get up. There's research the dead horse theory, you will laugh. But it's the truth. We live in a country where everything that is wrong with Trinidad and Tobago, everything that is wrong because nothing works. And you could ask people to tell you what works in Trinidad. Call and tell me. If you support a government, call and tell me what works. The police service in Trinidad and Tobago, every single prime minister, there are rogue elements, corrupt elements, corrupt elements.
Still
we have a
nothing done.
professional services bureau, a police service, we have a police service commission, a police complaints authority, and a police complaints division. That's 4 things.
Imagine.
4 things paid.
Oversight.
4 things paid to keep the police service
in check.
Operational, honest, non-working. Come on, man.
But we pay every year for it, though.
Oh God, listen to me, now, man. Don't tell me that it's rain. I know it's not rain. You're lying to me.
Feeling warm.
Kamla, you had 5 years and 6 months. You come out of government. I tell Trinidad and Tobago this. I say this today. The 6 months, the extra 6 months that you thief. Because 5 years now they change. They says you have an extra 6 months. Them fellas could find a way to thief milk and sugar out of coffee. They thief for extra 6 months. You are government. The police service corrupt. You can't fix it. Well, boys, the law. Write the law. That's what the parliament for.
Right.
That's right.
That's what the parliament for. You had a special majority. When you and Ashwa Jack and Winston Dukaran and Jack, what's his name? It slips my mind. When all Makanda Daga, when all it was Haman Jam and this next clown from MSJ, who was the leader of the OWTU before Ansel Roger, when all it was
Abdullah.
nice. Huh? Abdullah Boss. When Ole was nice, Ole had a special majority in the parliament. You could have gone in there and write laws that addressed and right size.
Fixed thing.
The Progressive Empowerment Party tell Trinidad and Tobago simple. Our policy is called undo and redo. Undo and redo. If the judiciary not working, undo it and redo it.
That's right.
If the public service not working, undo it and redo it.
Yeah.
We've told you local government has failed. The Tobago House of Assembly as a model has only served to serve up Tobagonians to a kind of economic slavery, to the PNM, that you are dependent on these people for sustenance.
Yeah.
The man call and say, I will feed you and clothe you. Massa get to own you without shackling and whipping you. They own you economically now. That is the madness of Trinidad and Tobago. We are doing one job. If we do it right, Trinidadians will make a better choice come election time. I don't want to be nobody political leader. I don't want to be fighting to go and sit down in the parliament and fight with these jokers. There are a lot of things I would have preferred to be doing with my life at this stage of my life. I am only doing this out of care and consideration for my country and the people that I will leave behind. I have family in this country that I want to have a safe, hopeful. When you leave your country and go to a next man country, no matter how much, hey boy, I get my hair cut for 10 cents. If you see groceries I get, when I go home, the things what can I have water in the pipe, all of that. You're not in Trinidad and Tobago. You're not in your house. You're not in your home. You could never, as much as you're enjoying how the country that you're living in run, you're not in your home.
Yeah.
In a next man land.
Yeah. Second class citizen.
I could live and work in England. I could live and work in Canada. Right now. I have no interest in either. I have no, and if they undo Brexit, I could live and work in any country in Europe. I have no interest in either. I have an interest in a better Trinidad and Tobago. I love my country. I love Trinidad and Tobago. I'm born here.
The Caribbean.
I don't care if you're blacker than me, if you're whiter than me. I is a Trinbagonian. I'm born here.
Everybody in the world running to the Caribbean. Want to come and see the Caribbean. Want to experience the Caribbean. And they just come in for a short period. A little 5 days, 10 days or a month maybe. We live in here. And we have been born into this paradise and just choose to just piss it away.
The people who attack Philip Edward Alexander and the PEP, tell them all the time, and they can't answer this question. They say you're going to split the votes. You're irrelevant. You ain't going nowhere. I say, okay, then why say it? Why even waste the time to say it? They have political parties I don't talk about. They exist. I don't call their name. Yesterday when Andy Johnson asked me if I know much politics. Yeah, 30. But I have no reason to call their names because I honestly think they're irrelevant. But if you are talking about me or you're talking about PEP, why? They say they don't stone barren tree. They can't pelt no stone to pick mango on a tree that have no mango.
That's right.
If we irrelevant UNC and PNM sycophants, why waste the call?
That's right. Why
to call in here to tell us you're irrelevant. You don't talk to irrelevant people.
That's right.
You don't go up to a vagrant in town and say, hey, you have served no purpose. You don't tell him that. He served no purpose.
Yeah, you pass him straight.
You pass him straight.
Yeah.
Doesn't occupy any mind space. So what people do not say has a lot to do with what they really want to say. And what they want to say, and Kamala know. Kamala just beat them into a frenzy. How come that PEP growing so hard and so fast? How come when the progressive... A man called me yesterday and said, Philip, well, you have no office and you have 36,000 followers.
Yeah. But you know what scares them most, both the PNM and UNC, is the fact that this political party, the Progressive Empowerment Party, is 110% organic. It's not paid for
no
votes.
carbs,
It's
no
not
calories.
paid for votes.
No sugar.
These are true people who want true change.
No trans fats. They say the organic now. It just add that to my mind.
You're gone clear. But it's real, and that is what they in fear for, because you can't beat that. You cannot beat that.
How we know when all they get in the government, all they ain't got teeth? And I want to ask people, listen. I say, you see how hard we working just to get at the teeth? Boy. Yeah. Just to get at the teeth. If I wanted the teeth.
Easier to go and join
think I would be in the
PNM.
UNC?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very, very
I
easy.
sit down there and have government ministers in the UNC offer me all kind of sweetness. What about the PNM? On a daily basis, Fitzgerald Hines saw my car parked up opposite QRC in the middle of the day. Knew I was running around the savannah. He must have passed and seen me. He parked by my car and stand up there in his suit to wait for me to reach back by my Fitzgerald Hines. Philip, my brother. You ever talk to that? My brother. How are you? How are you on this auspicious day? Don't give me all this nonsense.
Oh God,
I want to tell me why you need to be in the PNM, brother. You need to be here working with us in this party to be all this nonsense. I get the same foolishness from the UNC. They all want to tell me that your place is with us and you will do better here, because they believe and they're locked into this mindset that we could only have racist politics in the country. And I am here to prove to Trinidad and Tobago that that does not have to be so. We the people, Janice, of the Progressive Empowerment Party, and it is to them you have to give all the accolades. I know what I do. I know what I could do. But it is the first adopters, those people who stood and said, you, Tony, Janice, Felicia Ola, Sean Sunarayan, Satish Ramsaran. These people who said, you know what? I want a better country. I like how this song is. Let's build this. Who have done the work of building this party. Tell Felicia Holder, she's the chairman of the party. I said they have no chairman of any political party in this country that have your ability. They may have more knowledge. They may have other experience in other fields. But the ability to take nothing and mold something, you've demonstrated a capability and a capacity second to none.
Correct. That's right.
We have people in this party. When a man called me on the phone today and tell me I need to work with former ministers, miss me with that bullshit. There are people in this country talking sport. We have Michael Phillips, Brian Chinleong, Shaka Hislop. Shaka Hislop have a globally recognized brand now because of ESPN, Atto Boland because of MSNBC and the Olympics and American football. These people understand sport. They live and eat and breathe in sport every single day. You want to talk healthcare? They have doctors in this country. David Bratt, Barry Landreth Smith. There are people, and you can sit them down and convene a proper medical authority and identify a mission for public health in Trinidad that treats all our people with dignity and respect and leaves nobody behind. That maximizes the $5 billion we spend a year.
Yes.
Janice, in the last 20 years, we spend enough money on public health. We could have buy St. Kitts, Nevis, Grenada, Dominica, Antigua. We could have buy those countries for what we spend on public health, and you still taking your nanny and your granny in there and watch people treat them like dirt. How people slide down. I hear Rodney, who owned CrossFit. Rodney tell me and Satish, he says, father lie down for 5 days on a gurney in a corridor.
Yeah, it's sad. People really don't understand.
When you look at how broken this country is, we talked earlier, we explained to people how $250 worth of grocery in your trolley end up costing $1,150 at the cash register. All of that is theft. All of that is mismanagement. All of that is gouging. All of that is incompetence. And if you don't vote that out, you're saying, I want to pay 5 times the price of my food. That I want to go in the mall and buy imitation shoes with the brand on it from brand stores and pretend that this is normal and all right at the same price that I would pay for the genuine article.
Well, not just that. I mean, I bought some avocados that from Dominica, Dominican Republic, and I had to throw out at least 3 of them. I had to throw them out because.
But you hear what you just said? You hear what you just said? You bought
Where's
avocados.
she gonna buy Trinidadian avocados from? Where's she buying it? And if she bunks it up somewhere, it's $50 for one.
Exactly. I had to throw them out because the color of the skin started to turn, and when you cut it, all the inside was brown.
This is not a fet in here. This
Janice,
is madness.
I speak to people who are incredibly competent in what they do. I have a fellow named Stephen Broadbridge. He's a photographer and he is a guide.
Yes.
He's a licensed tour guide. This is what he does.
That's like bird sanctuary and all that.
Yeah, and he's also a game warden. He's a volunteer warden. They had formed Trinidad Conservation. What was the name of it? They had a conservation to him and Vernon De Lima's son.
Right.
And Mark Laurent Divital, who is now, he have his other thing, Papa Boy. He was in this first thing, a Trini conservation thing. Anyway, this fella, Stephen Broadbridge, if you talk to him and you listen to some of the things he's tell you about just normal Trinidad tourism, you just wonder why he is not the Minister of Tourism. And I say it now. If you talk to Barry Landreth-Smith, because I will stalk that man to make him Minister of Health. Not only is he incredibly knowledgeable, he's a Trinity to the bone. He understands the business that he is in, and he would right-size public health in this country in a year because he understands what doesn't work and why. There are enough people in this country with the capacity and the ability to fix everything that needs fixing. Why would I need to go back and swallow back the vomit of the PNM and the UNC? A bunch of criminally corrupt, incompetent duens. The only time I want to see Colm Imbert is when he answering in front of a judge. Answer! That's what I want to see. Trinidad and Tobago needs to understand that when you sit down and you talk about all the people who did this country wrong, you have to name them.
Yes.
It is not enough to say, but how that man get that contract? How that contract continuing? But that contract not making sense. It's not enough to say that and stop there. We live in this lack mindset that it wrong, we're seeing it wrong, but we don't know how to put it right. They've beaten us into a kind of submission. They've put non-functional, incompetent, corrupt people in all of the important offices of state. So that when you go and you make a report, well, boy, we're going to check it. Not that we will address it. There are people in the United States of America, every single sitting judge on the bench knows that there is an organization in the United States of America whose job it is to continuously investigate every judge. They don't stop. So are you a judge on the bench? They don't stop investigating you till your career is over. And they literally want to hound you off the bench. You have to prove that you are not corrupt. You have to prove, and they tell you, they say it all the time, I cannot do what you're asking me to do. There are people above me. In Trinidad and Tobago, we vote people or appoint people into little dictatorships. Everybody's a king and an emperor.
Yeah.
You can't move them. You can't move them. We have no oversight, nothing that facilitates real management of this country.
Look at Chief Justice. Look at we boy, the Chief Justice.
But the Prime Minister's failure to trigger Article 137 right now to launch the investigation has delayed justice in this situation to the point where we don't know if the allegations against the Chief Justice are correct or lies.
Exactly.
We don't know.
A man who holding such a critical portfolio.
We don't know. And it reached the Privy Council. It reached the Privy Council, and we've allowed it to fester and rot. So now the entire Judicial Legal Service Commission and the Chief Justice Office have been brought into odium and disrepute, where you had to defend the people's right to go on the Hall of Justice steps for old mass and bring them into ridicule. Because that's what it's looking like. It's looking like nobody in the country in any office of state are doing their jobs. Not one. So the people are seeing the corruption. And the people are saying, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? And they see them get away with it enough time till they say, you know what? I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
Because crime pays in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right.
Crime pays.
That's right.
So business people say, you know what? If my partner telling me, because you and me doing the same business, but you driving your little whatever, and he driving BMW and Benz, buying big house.
Yeah, Cayenne and all kind of
telling you, boy, contract, you know. Contract. There a man under the UNC was selling contracts. Selling, he had too many. And I could give you names. So they could call me before the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, the JSC. They could call me before the JSC, the Parliament tomorrow. And the UNC know that we, right now in this country, and the PNM too, that there are people whose names should be called, should be investigated to uncover evidence that prosecutes them. But we're not doing that. Our Director of Public Prosecutions has spent over $150 million trying to prosecute Ish and Steve, and we're no closer to prosecuting them. That means we've literally thrown good money after that.
Yeah, we just, it gone, it throw away.
And the children of these successful criminals walk around in Trinidad and society as if benefiting from contracts makes you successful.
It's sickening. It's
makes you
sickening.
successful. All you have to do is open a beer company in Trinidad and Tobago and bribe every single government to prevent any other beer company opening in Trinidad and Tobago, and you're a success. Because monopoly, there's teaching in business school. The first thing you want to get is a monopoly. If you have a monopoly, you win. That's why they call the board game monopoly, because you want a monopoly. If you don't have a monopoly, the second thing you want to get is billables. Like B-Mobile, Flow, Digicel. They have billables. They have a cash flow. And they can do you what they want. If the average person in Trinidad and Tobago investigate and scrutinize their bill, B-Mobile, Digicel, Flow, and all of them overcharging you. And they're doing that to nickel and dime the country. Because at the end of the day, if 100,000 people pay you an extra $100 at the end of the month that you didn't account for, that's $10 million. Out of the blue, free and clear money. And most people taking the lineup and they just want to pay the bill and get out. That's why it's set up that way. It's not a comfortable, enjoyable experience. Because if it was a comfortable, enjoyable experience, you would challenge it. If you ask B-Mobile for your bill, they just tell you, well, I have to call a man who lives in Alaska. And he had to call a man who operated in Istanbul. And that man have to carve the paper out of trees, living trees, upon which we have calligraphers from Israel come along and write your bill out by hand. And that is brought to you by Sherpas. That's nonsense. I'm telling you, I'm trying to make a ridiculous joke of it. Try and get your bill from B-Mobile.
Yeah, it's true.
The only thing that hard to get in B-Mobile is your bill. Because if you get a breakdown of your account, you could challenge them. And the moment you challenge them, they will address it. Because they don't have nobody in this country for you to go and say, look. Because every time I go in B-Mobile and raise my voice, everybody in the line is get vexed too. When I go in the banks and I ask how that a bank that makes $1 billion in a quarter could have 12 wickets and 3 people,
In
3 tellers,
operation.
3 tellers, line them up and frustrate them till they're willing to use just the ATM card, because that's what the banks want. The banks want you to pay fees to them to just hold your money. That your money gets paid to them, not you. You gotta come to them for your money. And to come to them for your money, there's a charge for that. That's what the banks want. And the banks don't want to pay light bill and phone bill and staff bill and mortgage and rent. They just want ATM machines. Like what they build outside West Bees. That's the future of banking in Trinidad and Tobago. That if you have a problem, dial this hotline. And they put you on hold for 9 hours. Trying to get to the bottom of how come my money missing. And your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line.
And you have a bill, and that bill you have to pay, huh?
Yeah.
The bank ain't picking up that cost?
Of course not. Of course not. And again, the country is just simply broken. There's no type of oversight, no type of body or mechanism that is there to truly safeguard the best interests or seek the interests of the people.
Why do we not have financial sector regulations in this country? Ask Kamala, ask Rowley. Before you pick up the phone to call into this show and tell us you're supporting Kamala or you're supporting Rowley, know why you're supporting them. Asking this question again. Why don't we have banking's financial sector regulations? The Progressive Empowerment Party proposes that all duly paid up clients of insurance companies that presents a claim, you have 3 months to honor that claim or take the person to court. Take the person to court. Take them to court. We'll provide an insurance court. If you're not paying the claim, if that is your client and they paid up to date, so we're going to meet with somebody at noon today.
Yeah.
This is what the man called to tell me. You have a debt in the family. He missed 2 months payment in 2016. Start back paying and reach to 2019. Then he get a debt in the family. So they start back taking his money in 2016 and he continued to pay. But because of the 2 months that he forgot in 2016, they said they can't pay him his claim.
So why would they collecting?
Why would they accepting payments from him?
This is it.
For the past 3 years.
This is it.
That is fraud.
Exactly.
Okay, but he doesn't have anybody to go to, so he's coming to me. So his friend, a real estate agent, tell him, well, boy, hope Philip can handle the matter. Now, I want to ask Keith Rowley this morning. All these people that come into me and to the PEP, your phone, I don't know how you keep track of this phone.
It's ridiculous.
All the people that come into us, who do you think is paid to represent these people?
That's right.
Whose job is it? If a bank, if you are a client of an insurance company and you present a claim and they do not honor it in 3 months and they take you to court, the judge should have the authority to award you 10 times the claim for the insurance company, because what they do is they stall you for as long as they could get away with it, so that you will be frustrated, that you will accept less money, or that if enough time pass, they could earn the interest on the money.
On the money they're holding.
So they're not paying you with real money.
In fact, they might pay with the interest they make on the money that they're supposed to pay with. It's a win-win for them across the board, and we are always the one holding the shitty end of the stick.
Ted Turner gave an organization, I can't remember which, I think it was the United Nations, somebody, $10 billion, $1 billion a year. He gave them $1 billion a year to give them $10 billion. And how he did it, he put the $10 billion in a bank account, and it made $1 billion a year. And he gave them that for 10 years, and he still had his $10 billion at the end of it.
Imagine.
The $25 billion that we took to bail out Clico, 10 years has passed. We should have had a next $25 billion
on top of that.
$25 billion could have built 200,000 houses in this country. We say there are 110,000 people on the HDC waiting list. So we could have built twice the amount houses that we needed.
Have empty house right now, ready and set.
When they're talking about
the baby
building a
boomers,
bridge to Tobago.
Baby boomers,
building a bridge to Tobago. The longest bridge in the world in China just cost a little bit under $1 billion US a mile. Using that as a number, with the money that has been stolen from Trinidad and Tobago, when people ask if we could afford to build a bridge to Tobago, we could have built 30. We could have built a bridge to Tobago, a bridge to Venezuela, a bridge to Barbados. We could have more bridges.
Grenada. We could have interconnect the whole, but we could have interconnect the whole damn Caribbean.
Correct. And again, and this is the point, that Trinidadians, all of us, not just me, not just you, not just Janice, all of us need to be outraged. All of us need to say, elect to office a political party that says its main mission is to bring to justice all of those who have criminally enriched themselves, engaged in corruption and stolen public funds. Call it cost overruns, misappropriation, call it what you want. Once it was allocated for and it was taken illegally, once the contract don't make sense, because people think, I have a signed contract. Brother, if your job is required for you to protect public funds or public equity, regardless of the contract you sign, there's a law that says you can write no law that supersedes the laws of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That's an actual law.
Yes.
So you can't make up your own crap as you go along. So if you write what could be deemed an illegal contract, you are guilty of fraud. You understand that? If, as the person in charge of the ministry, if the permanent secretary sign off on it, the permanent secretary is guilty of fraud. You all are now guilty of conspiracy to commit fraud. Put a government in office willing to put to scrutiny every contract in this country.
That's right.
Put a government in office willing to bring to justice friends, family, and foe anybody who was involved in the plunder and looting of this nation. Vote for that. But you can't say that is Kamala and you can't say that is Keith. All we get from them is bacchanal and old noise. This one do this and that one do that. This one thief more, that one thief less. But nobody brought to justice. How is that in any way right? How?
Yes, man. Trinidad, listen.
More options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the Castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
On Saturday, April 6th, JoJo, the promoter of Stranded by the Pool, invites you to his massive birthnight celebration at the beautiful Trendsetters Poolside in Wallafield Arena. Bring your coolers and come to this once-in-a-lifetime event. Remember, no glass bottles allowed. Gates will be open at 6 p.m. All coolers must be inside before 10 p.m. And we will party till the sun comes up. But hold on, here's the best part. 2 persons enter on 1 ticket for only $100 before 10 p.m. Look out for monster cast of DJs, artists, and the celebrities coming to celebrate life with JoJo. Also ticket giveaways for Buju Concert and Kabuki Black. Ladies, you know the dress code, swimwear or shorts. This one is gonna be big. For tickets, get your tickets at Fats International, Sangre Grande, Arima, and Trinity Mall. Or Lotte Boots and at the Truck Stop Bar of Wallafield. For more information, call JoJo at 752-9911. More 104.7 FM, the official station.
It's that time again.
Constantine Park comes alive
as Air 104.7 Sports Day happens on Good Friday, the 19th of April.
Put your tug-of-war team together and come challenge
the defending champs, More FM and the Blazers team.
Bigger and better with new attractions.
The Iron Man Chef Cookout. You think you have a sweet hand? Then register your teams now
for the Iron Man Chef and the Tug of War.
Lots of games and prizes to be won.
Constantine Park. Register your team now.
Call More FM offices at 628-4073 for more info.
The station that gives you only the best old school music in every genre. There's more FM. There's more. And then there is more FM.
I wanna know,
we give you the true meaning to more. More. Of excitement. Lock on and win big. Get ready.
and wonder how this sweet island gets so bitter. Low salary but cost of living gets higher. We inhumane behavior, things now turned upside down. Smiling faces becomes a frown. Guns the law, we now live in fear. People no longer seems to care. My heart is filled with pain and agony. I see a man begging for mercy. They rub him and they shoot up his body. I can't take no more. I pray for we safety. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. Oh, 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 ah, hey, hey. Bring it back, I say. Bring it up, 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 bring it up. And all I see is darkness all over. Stray bullets have running for cover. Shedding tears has become so natural. Humans behaving more like animal. No respect for values anymore. Even the lawmakers breaking the law. Who can we trust? Tell me who to save. Each day undertakers dig new graves. Wailing and bawling is the new band launching. New sizes of boxes we measure it. Nearly all our soul you're here in the morning. Live for a movie entering Bego now show it. Bring it back. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be, Lord. Bring it back. Like long ago, what was mine was yours too. Bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. Oh, 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 oh. I pleaded with you. I pleaded with you, Lord. Bring back the nation. Oh, oh. Like it's blood and crime take over. The rich and all feeling the pressure. People die like flies, yet we fight. What would it take for us to unite? Look how we children them going astray. And the poor hold on to faith each day. So all we have a message and playing dumb. Many go pay in time to come. So all the innocent lives they taking, the mind and the souls they corrupting. Everything has a price to pay. On a great, great judgment day. Sweetie auntie, bring it back. Land of the milk and honey, bring it back. Sweet family, the way that it used to be. Bring it back. Like long ago, what was mine was yours. Bring it back. Peace and harmony, my red, white and black country. Dear God, I lift up this island. I place my situation in your hand. You can create and you can destroy. Please turn our sorrows into joy. Forgive us, Father, we have sinned. Turn back the sword, oh Lord, I pleaded. Change the hearts of the wicked ones. Guide and protect all your daughters and sons. Through this perilous times, I know with you on board, blessings will flow. TNT will again arise. Through the sweet, sweet bond.
back. I say, we're not gonna get a better country as long as we allow political old noise. Listen, we're dealing with the issues as fact. We're dealing with our history as fact. We're dealing with what went wrong in Trinidad and Tobago as fact. We find ourselves in a place right now, Tony. We are at that place, and we cannot continue to bury our heads in the sand and pretend that so many of our people are not living lives of quiet desperation. Our middle class has been reduced to working poor, and our poor are destitute. We're in dire straits, Janice.
Yes, we are.
As a nation.
That's sad.
Yeah, and people don't want to see it. I guess when we get as bad as Venezuela, then maybe they'll start waking up.
I think that listen, I was Saturday, we had a meeting that went till about 8 o'clock in the office, and when I left, I was driving down the road, and a person in front of Fatima, they had like a roadblock there that I don't know if they were checking for better lines and things. So whenever I come into a roadblock, I just turn on the lights in the vehicle and roll along the windows,
yes.
One time, right? So when I pull up there, the police officer being very polite. Good night, sir. How are you? What's your name? I said, Philip Edward Alexander. He said, why that name sounding so familiar? And then I rolled my shirt because I had on the jersey. So I rolled it wrong. He said, oh, it's you on the shake, man. He said, carry on, sir. We with you. Where you now coming from? I said, we're in meetings whole day. He said, I was supposed to come. Carry on. We for you. We are 100% with you. Listen, give her everything. When you have people like that, you know, I tell you, the day I went to buy the burger and the guy came outside after he cleared up the whole line just to shake my hand. You must get experiences like that, Tony, where people are just so overjoyed that the PEP exists, that there is an opportunity for them to wake up and get involved. Listen, it's not going to be easy. We tell you that there are ways and means to do everything, but we can't do it alone. We have to do it together as a people. We have to stand up as one people under one flag. The fake racism in this country that separate the Indians and the Africans is a joke. Nowhere else on planet Earth are the grandchildren of India and the grandchildren of Africa in conflict. So why are they in conflict in Trinidad?
Very true.
It is designed to divide and rule, and we need to break that. We need to get ourselves to one people under one flag and stand up for better Trinidad and Tobago. This coming Saturday at 5 p.m. we launch our North Regional Headquarters. Right after the launch, you'll remember 3 weeks ago in South, we had our South Regional Headquarters. This is our North Regional Headquarters. 6 weeks from now, we're going to be doing the East Regional Headquarters in Tumpuna Road, Arima. But this one, the North Regional Headquarters, 10th Avenue, Barataria, this Saturday at 5 p.m. Bring the whole family. As usual, we have little light refreshments.
Light refreshments, yes.
We have beverages.
We had so much cake last time.
People leave with whole cake.
Yeah.
No, but they have secure parking. We have limited reserve seating. If you would like to get a seat, you could call 3474-PEP or message Felicia Holder, Debbie Jaikaran, Sean Sinarayan, any of the usual suspects involved in those things. Come and be a part of that, the launch of and we're going to feature in this one an open mic, so you're going to have the ability to ask questions.
Yes.
Correct.
We want a better Trinidad and Tobago. We are daring to stand in the gap for a better Trinidad and Tobago. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, come and join us this Saturday. Tony?
Yes. Well, you said it all right there, Trinidad. This Saturday, 5 p.m. Make it happen again. This is all for you. And don't take our word for it. You have to see for yourself. You have to be a part of, understand, know, hear, taste, feel, see. This is for you, Trinidad and Tobago. And again, having the information which allows you to make better decisions, that's what we're here for. That's it. Jan?
Our job is to empower, educate, and to make you a critical thinker. You need to ask the questions when the politicians come around asking for your vote. Your vote is worth gold. Don't sell it for a T-shirt and $5.
You know, I had to say to somebody yesterday that is an actual crime. Selling your vote is a crime that you and the person who received the vote, both of you all could make a jail.
Well, people are not aware, you see. They need to be educated. And that's our job, to educate the public. Make them aware of what is going on.
Yeah. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago.
So we hope to see all of you on this Saturday.
20th of March at 5
That's
p.m.
right.
And the next PEP market is the 7th of April.
Correct.
That's a Sunday.
Correct.
Sunday, the 7th of April at Lions Civic Center, we're having the same.
Lions Cultural Center.
It used to be Civil Center.
Civic Center. Well, it was changed. The name was changed. It's Cultural Center.
Cultural Center. So
Yes.
come and Come on, Lime. The whole team will be there. Come on, you could sign
Bring
up.
the kids. There's a bouncy castle, face painting, and come and have lunch with us because we're going to have a fabulous food court.
They have the spa. I think you're not trying to get a pedicure.
I'm really excited to actually see the new some of the new and the vendors that was there from the first event. Great stuff, Trinidad and Tobago, and really and truly you need to come down, check it out. Great prices, top of the line quality. Really, you just need to be there and see what we're talking about. And again, this model is something we would like to put on a national level. So really see what we're trying to do, the models we're trying to create. And again, it's not for us, it's really for you, Trinidad and Tobago. That's what it is.
Trinidad and Tobago. That's what we're going for. Before you wrap, Janice, I just want to remind people there's another big thing coming down the line in the Progressive Empowerment Party, which is our television show. We are building our own studio. That's under construction right now. Satish Ramsaran is responsible for that. It's going to be at 8 o'clock every evening. Stay tuned for that. We're broadcasting on Gael and on our YouTube channel, which will be shared on social media. The show is going to be called Plain Talk, and this one going to be serious every night on at 8 o'clock. Yeah. So until Wednesday, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.
For all development.